Hey, we live when things like this happen, but it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building, bro. We wanted to try to make it work with our silverback. He wanted to be on the pod. He wanted to share his thoughts.
Yes.
His deep thoughts. But of course, he went into the enemy of all of us, bro, which is a 5G issue. You've gone through it as well, bro. Huh?
Public Wi-Fi, not the best lah. Let's just put it that way. Especially when you're in a public place where everyone's trying to access it at the same time. Suddenly the load cannot bear. You know what it is? McDonald's couldn't bear the load of the silverback. That's what's up. There's so much, power to the silverback.
Bro, we still love you, Props. I think he's excited to share his thoughts because, over the weekend, right, we had the biggest anniversary show of all time for Grapplemax. And I think he really, really wanted to contribute what he had to say. But you know what? He's going to be on the chat, right? I hope he's on the chat right now, saying hi to everyone.
Absolutely. Enjoying Oreo McFlurry, hopefully. Please save one for me. Is it weird for me to say this, but I've actually not been paying much attention to North American pro wrestling, both WWE and especially AEW. I don't know if it's because of, the previous week was SPW and then this past weekend was Grapplemax, but I feel like I've had my fill and it's a good fill. You know what I mean? I never thought I would get to that point where it's like, I wouldn't say it's comparable, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I like the fact that, yes, we have WWE, AEW, all that in the background. It's like part of the wrestling news cycle.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we are close to home, there's shit happening here in Singapore and it's exciting and like all the anniversary shows are coming up as well for all three promotions this month. So I feel like we want to do it justice. We want to give it the attention it deserves.
Correct. So to me, that's why I always bring this up. But forget about money, right? Time is the currency. Attention is truly the currency in 2024 in this day and age. So if we have promotions out there not respecting people's time, then I had to start. I started early, right? But you get my point. So okay, here we go. We're going to talk about Grapplemax. First, before we start anything, yes, we will touch on WWE stuff. We'll touch on AEW because Full Gear is this weekend. And
for sure.
Much to my surprise, I didn't even realize it was this weekend, bro. You brought it up. I was like, what?
I know you didn't because you were like, just Grapplemax this week. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't care what's happening today, but it's all good. It's all good. We'll talk about it. I think it'll be quite brief. But since we are live, right, Mr. Young, can we just take a moment to acknowledge our OGs so at least they know that we're live?
Yes,
What's up?
Div Royalty, is good to see you. Alfred, thank you so much for spending your time. Everybody who's in chat right now, let us know. Jump in the chat, say hi so we can acknowledge you Tongaloa style.
Yeah, brothers. And also, the great thing about like being there, attending all these local events live is we finally get to say hi and talk to some of our listeners in person. Shout out to Zayden. I think Zayden is one of our guys that we saw for the first time.
And
his
also,
girlfriend as well.
A new Patreon subscriber as well. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think it's a great time. Like I said, Raw, WWE just announced like a big ass like Netflix trailer as well. So, for all the nonsense that's out there, but there's also some great stuff. I think we'll cover all of it, right? For sure.
Absolutely. Actually, I want to swing back to the Netflix thing in just a bit because something else happened on the weekend and something very interesting that sparked many thoughts in my head. We'll get to that very soon. But as always, we got to give a big shout out to our one and only Hasif, our sponsor of the podcast. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, what's up? So the thing I love about, as well, again, going there live is we get to meet people in person. Hasif has been a supporter of the community this last couple of months. Very curious to check out local wrestling. Last week, SPW, Crowning Glory, he brought his friend over. Like, hey, let's just check it out. And he gave me, okay, can I just say the review that he gave? He gave some kind words, as part of a check. So let me read out what he said, okay?
So review of the event, is what you're saying?
No, not review of the event. Just his thoughts on the whole experience because he's a very reflective person, right?
Okay.
He said, "Hey, bro. Anyway, I appreciate you inviting me. Truly enjoyed myself. It's like watching a play/theater, something you don't see every day. And my friend who's a wrestling fan clearly appreciated it as well. And he said like the fact that he kind of gets it now." Now he understands why it's so popular among us and why we are so invested in it as well.
I love it. That's the beauty of pro wrestling, and we'll talk about it when we talk about the Grapplemax thing, right? You don't have to know everything. As long as the story being told in the ring is a well-told story, you can get sucked in. We saw at the Grapplemax show, people were just, all the uncles and aunties and randos, just, staring through the glass, trying to see the action. Hey, go fighting, whoa,
They don't see that every day in their CC, you know what I mean,
Exactly.
Right?
But yes, Hasif, he's an independent financial advisor. If you want to talk to him about that kind of stuff, he more than welcomes you. Or if you just want to have day with Hasif, just chat about entrepreneurship, fitness. He's a true fitness bro. Look at him.
Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could step into the ring, I say.
I
he got the build for it, bro.
Somebody sent a comment on the chat. I think his friend probably on YouTube. He was like, hey, I think this Hasif, next time I'll see in the ring. So any local promotion, you got this one good-looking Malay guy out there, fitness guy. Bro, make him the Shane McMahon of pro wrestling in Singapore.
There you go. Drop him a follow. If anything else, Hasif_captures on Instagram, okay? In the meantime, though, all right, back to my Netflix thoughts. Of course, this past weekend, the big live event. Live sports on Netflix is going to be huge. They've already experimented here and there, right? But Tyson Paul. Okay, forget about the fight itself. This card was all about the hype. Can we just, coalesce to that thought? Right? Can we just...
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Actually, I wanted to start off this podcast talking about that event, right? Okay. Tyson and Paul. And nothing to do with how shitty the event was, right? But the match itself.
The match itself. It was all hype. Because, let's be real, the match before, the ladies' match, it was a banger.
Correct. And I was curious to kind of like think about what was the strategy that Netflix was going for, or maybe the main eventers themselves knew that, okay, there's a high chance this match is just going to be a disappointment. Yep. Let's have some Kit Kat women that we can spotlight and get them to do all the action workload.
Bro, that's exactly the point. And they were going on throughout the entire broadcast about this is like the highest paid women's fight. So they were trying to shine up Jake Paul a bit, like he gave them the chance to have this opportunity, which is great, for women's boxing and everything like that. But even the match before that was really good as well. It's like you pad it out with good stuff so that people feel like they got their money's worth, quote unquote, or their time's worth. But then, let's be real, everyone was there to see Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, which unfortunately did not deliver because Mike Tyson is 58 years old.
The thing is, right, we should have known that. Like, we should have overhyped it. If they...
You know what it is? It's nostalgia. We all want Uncle Mike to freaking, show us one more time, like, your knockout power. The myth, the legend, even those of us who didn't grow up watching him and his heavyweight fights, right? We see the clips. And then he has this destructive power, this sudden, bursts. And we saw the training clips as well. It's like, oh my God, he's going to knock Jake Paul the F out. And then it didn't happen. It's all marketing.
Yeah. But I look at the whole event, to me, as a wrestling fan, right? As a test run. Test run. Like,
live sports.
How's the experience going to be on Netflix, right? And, I heard there was a lot of issues with streaming in North America.
Yes.
But here in Singapore, it wasn't that big of a deal, right? On your end as well.
Some people said they had lag issues. I personally did not. So my experience was perfect. Like, it literally lagged 1 second and that's it. So I was very surprised. Because from what I read, 60 million people viewed this on Netflix, bro. 60 million.
Bro, that's wild.
I know that WWE is not going to get those numbers, but can you imagine if they get like 5? Like, it's very possible with a platform like Netflix.
Okay, you have to understand when Attitude Era was at its peak, weekly viewership was about 10 million. Right? Looking at 10 million. That is like... We've said this before. That's like rookie numbers in Netflix, right?
Exactly. But here's the thing. I think the possibility is very much there because, hear me out, even if you didn't give a hoot about boxing, you tuned in because you already had a Netflix account. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Look, you know what? They advertise on the show, NFL football or Christmas, like Winter Bowl or some shit. I don't know what it is really. Pittsburgh Steelers versus no Jacksonville Jaguars. So they announced like they're going to stream 2 live NFL matches during like the Christmas season. I was like, I would watch that. I don't care about I haven't watched American football in forever. But I will watch it just because it's free on my Netflix that I already subscribed to and it's live.
Yeah, agreed. I wanted to acknowledge what Alfred said, sidetrack talking about UFC. Okay, we'll talk about UFC in a bit as well. But let me just finish up my thought here. I agree with you. There is an opportunity here.
Huge.
I wasn't like I didn't have an issue with the whole streaming thing because like let's be really honest, as WWE fans, wrestling fans, we are very self-aware. No 60 million people are gonna watch like a Monday Night Raw. That's like we're not gonna get those numbers. That's fine. But if you can just get a piece of that pie,
Wow.
5 million, 10 million, that's still more viewership than what you see on network TV, right?
And back to what you brought up earlier, they've started to promote it already, right? On the first episode, you got John Cena. You got, who else? One rapper fella.
I
forgot. But you know what I
mean.
No,
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Yeah.
And then for all my Indian brothers, they played Hanuman. They played the big dog. You know that big stepper underground rapper. Yeah. So they played that, and I saw in the comment the rapper Hanuman actually like commented, "Yo, you're using my music." So like, bro, we are getting mainstream, musicians, artists, rappers, actors, whoever. That is the hype that I recall when Attitude Era was at its biggest. It became pop culture. So we are getting there. I feel it. We are literally at the crest. Oh no, not even the crest.
Cusp.
We are on the cusp.
Yes.
On the cusp. So guys, this is the best time to be a pro wrestling fan. And for us, we were talking about it. 8-year overnight sensation, kick to the gut. I think we're gonna get a breakthrough next year. So guys, you gotta be ready for that.
Let's put that out there in the universe. I just want to nitpick a little bit with their poster, okay? They had an opportunity, but they fumbled the ball. Whoever did this poster, they fumbled the ball. See, okay, this is cool. This is John Cena, live action. Obviously, John Cena, everybody knows, mega movie star. People love him, right? People watch him on Netflix. Greatness, yes, of course. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, OTC. Greatness right there.
Okay.
Excitement with Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Why is adrenaline tagged to Bianca? I get that Bianca.
Yes.
But adrenaline should have gone with Cody Rhodes. It's literally right there.
You fumble, bro.
The song doesn't go excitement in my soul. Okay, excitement in my soul. No, that doesn't work. Okay,
no, the vibe is different,
adrenaline. Bro. Yeah, bro, come on.
Yeah. So someone in marketing never watched enough of their wrestling. No. Bro. You know my dream, bro. My dream is to really do marketing for WWE. I just feel like even though I'm gonna get overworked, I'm probably gonna end up like a freaking Bruce Pritchard and all that. But there's so much opportunity to market WWE. You get what I mean?
They are doing a fantastic job of it right now, especially with leveraging TKO and UFC's resources. It's just up and up for the WWE.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, let's transition quickly to UFC, right? So the great thing about this week's UFC and how it relates to us, it happened in Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
We can talk about John Jones having a great victory over Stipe Miocic, and that's all great and done, right? But on the WWE slant of it all, you had Triple H, Stephanie McMahon being there, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest.
Mommy,
right?
yes.
Mommy as well. And the cool thing is, Hunter of Triple H was like front row with Dana White shaking hands with Donald Trump, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
And I'm not even talking about all the politics of it all. But if you think about it, if the biggest wrestling company in the world is connected or have connections to the White House, right?
Yes.
Bro, we are mainstream, bro. That's the most mainstream as you can be, right?
100%. Love him or hate him, right? But then again, Donald Trump always has had connections with the WWE. If you think about it, going back to the Vince McMahon days. But Triple H being there and all the wrestlers. Okay, is it just me or... I know, like, obviously, I do not wish, like, relationship problems between Rhea and Buddy, but Rhea and Damien look good together, twins. Hey.
Bro, they are twinning for a reason, bro.
Okay, they are that bro relationship. I believe some people in chat might think that they might look better with Damian Priest. I'm looking at you.
Dave is like in the wings, like, waiting for a puppy.
Huge.
Okay. Okay, anyway. Okay, wait. Alfred was saying when they played YMCA, I thought there will be a choreo from fans and Triple H.
Stop it, lah.
What? And that was John Jones.
Wait. Did he come out? I did not pay attention to the UFC at all.
No, so they played YMCA in the background when he was kind of shaking hands. Like it was kind of like in between filler music. Very interesting. I like this kind of like I would say what's the right word? Like harmony between like
Synergy, corporate
synergy.
synergy, bro.
Synergy, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because right, okay, if you're doing UFC pay-per-views on Sunday night historically, then and WWE will be on Saturday night. All this while, remember last time we had to watch a Sunday pay-per-view, like Alama, I have to review on a Monday, have to watch it. But now we can watch WWE shows, from the comfort of our home on a Sunday morning and even review it, right?
Sure. It is a great time to be a wrestling fan right now. It truly is. And once again, the mainstreamness of it all. We don't have to be like, oh yeah, we are, watching this like very indie, very weird shit. No. Yeah, we've been loud and proud even through the dark times. Now it's time to shine.
Dave was saying Buddy was also there. No, Dave trying to say that Rhea and Buddy are good.
Yeah.
Damian Priest available. Do not disturb my Damian Priest.
Okay, can. We'll send him a message to that effect. But yeah, so I just wish that UFC would go do the WWE Network or streaming route. I really wish they would, because they still run on the pay-per-view model.
Which do you feel like WWE is now more accessible than UFC?
Yes, 100%. So I wonder if at some point in the future, Dana White just goes, okay, F it. Let's not charge whatever their $30 a month subscription. It's quite expensive, bro, to be a UFC fan.
I don't know. Right now, to me, WWE is more mainstream than UFC.
Yes.
UFC had its peak in the mid-2010s. You had your Conor, Khabib, right?
Speaking of Conor, I'll just kind of circle it back a little bit. Jake Paul did mention that, his next fight, rumor, Conor McGregor. That will sell tickets.
Ooh, Jake and Conor. But is Conor at that point in his career where he's just going to take this kind of like freak show fights?
It's all for the money, what? At the end no, he did say it could be an MMA fight, which would heavily favor Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, okay, WWE is going to be its own thing. They let sports and boxing and MMA try to do its own thing. Because to me, having them live in their own universe makes it all the more interesting and fun when there's crossovers in the future. So
correct.
Let them cook, bro.
Div says Damian Priest rumored to be dating Lana.
But Div say he boya. Yeah, I think he is a kind of a playboy. Okay, one last thought on this whole thing, right? A lot of people forget, bro. You had Mike Tyson there. You had Jake Paul there, right? You also had a WWE wrestler there.
Logan Paul.
Bro, Logan just right in the background, bro. So I'm like, bro, like there's so much possibility. Can you imagine like Logan continuing this with Mike? Wow.
Didn't Mike like challenge Logan and Logan said, I will kill you.
I will literally kill you.
Bro, they starting the promotion already. Like, even if it ends up as nothing, never mind. There was that interaction, These are people, love them or hate them. Like, I don't care either wise, but they know how to generate hype. We are in an attention economy right now because there's so much content out there. These guys, whether you love them or hate them, know how to get your attention.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm such a fan of like, how while WWE can kind of almost be on the back burner because like some of the storylines right now are kind of running. They tape a couple of their shows, so there's no need of like, oh shit, I need to see what's happening week to week. But it's almost like comfort food at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
Like I know what's happening. We just saw Raw, right? Raw was taped. They already kind of more or less confirmed Seth Rollins as like the fifth man. They had the women's war games confirmed as well.
Yes, correct. We'll get to that in just a second, but very quickly, just one more thing I have to bring up from the Netflix Tyson versus Paul fight. Yes. I don't believe that we hadn't brought it up, and maybe we've collectively erased it from our memories, but...
dear God. Bro, now our podcast is not PG anymore.
Oh my God, bro. When that happened, I watched it live, and it was the most like, what is going on? Am I in a different alternate universe? Because you have to remember, he's there being interviewed by his son. So his son is asking the questions. There's that very tense moment. It's like, Dad, what are you going to do? And then he's like, I love you, son. And he kisses his son, hugs his son, right? And then he turns to walk away. And then the cameraman, who must realize that he was like that the whole time, doesn't zoom in. He instead just lets him walk away. And then the butt comes into shot. I'm like, what is this?
Bro, tell me this is not an episode of Idiocracy, bro. This is real life. This is not a skit. You know what? That would have been a hilarious SNL skit. Someone should have done that.
No, but I also felt a bit bad because it kind of gave me a vibe of like, like old uncle who is not all there, just
On his
standing
last
around in
legs,
his underwear, and he either he wasn't aware or he just doesn't give a F anymore. He just wants to make the bag, get the bag and go.
It's okay. I think Tyson deserves that at this point in his career. But now,
to have his bare ass out there on Netflix for 60 million?
He has done whatever the fuck he can, bro. Like, he can literally do whatever and everyone's still gonna love him, right? He's literally bulletproof. At this point in time, I think the fans in general are ready to see like newer stuff. I think Jake Paul getting knocked out is more of like the selling point than who he fights at this point in time.
Yeah.
So if you give him corner, give him whoever, right? Let them have their this is like this generation's what or not, bro. Harlem Globetrotters. It's all just gimmicks. It's just gimmicks, bro.
Yeah. But it's a gimmick, but you can't help but put your eyes on it because you want to see something happen.
Correct. And they managed to sneak it under all of our eyes and like just basically it's the heist of the century, bro. It's the real heist of the century, bro. Getting all the money.
Exactly. But it is what it is, huh? Okay, come, let's talk about wrestling. I haven't had any time to check out Raw, but I did see that they have set up the women's War Games match, which, I saw clips of the build on social media and all the different members have been feuding with each other. So it kind of makes sense. But do you feel like their feuds are not so heated to a point where it warrants a War Games? Maybe only Rhea versus Liv.
Agree. And I would even argue there's a bit of Rhea and Liv fatigue at this point in time. Like, I think we've seen a lot of them. But they are undoubtedly stars, right? Top stars for the women, especially on Raw side. And I'm surprised that Rhea came back so soon. I thought Rhea is gonna be out for a while, right?
Right. I hope they're not rushing it just to do a War Game. See, that is my big
I hope so.
I would rather they not do War Games for the women. I know
because of the lack of story.
Yeah, it just feels like, we have to do equal one men's, one women's, just to be, I don't know, you're going to call it PC or whatever, but...
My only thing is, because War Games doesn't feel like there was enough build, like you mentioned, right? I hope War Games is the start of some builds for some of the women's rivalry. What I mean by this is, can we have a bit of Jade and Bianca dissension starting out at War Games? Can we have a new rivalry between Rhea and Raquel really get established in that match? For example, all those things that I want.
Io is in there. Isn't she the number one contender?
Yes, she is. Yes, correct. She is. So that means she does have a match due, and I have a feeling they might pull that trigger at Saturday night's main event in December as well.
And Io is gonna probably jump off the cage or some shit. She's known to do that, right? So this is her highlight spot.
Yeah, this could be a great match in terms of a spot fest in terms of highlights. But again, I agree with you. Not enough build, and I'm curious to see how they use this as a launching pad for future feuds as well.
Right. So on the quote-unquote men's side, obviously it's all about the build and the drama with the bloodline, right? Solo's still trying to get... he screwed Seth Rollins, didn't he? Because Seth refused to join his team, but Seth also doesn't want to join the bloodline, the OG bloodline team. But we are most likely headed towards Seth joining them because Solo screwed him, right?
Agree. Tell you what, I feel like at first, when this whole Bronson being included, Seth being included, felt very random out of nowhere. But after I watched SmackDown over the weekend, right, and I saw Bronson being part of the team, and I saw Bronson walking with them, I'm like, hey, bro, fuck. This, actually, he kind of fits, visually.
Look, the OG bloodline had Sami Zayn. The least Samoan of everybody on the roster.
Yeah.
Bronson at least kind of looks like he fits in.
Bro, Sami Zayn is the Owen Hart of the Nation of Domination, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I feel like Bronson makes sense to have an alliance with them.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be a full-time member.
Exactly. He's not a full-time member. He's just, hey, we recruit you for this. Which means that we won't see a Zilla, Fatu. We won't see a Hikaloa, that kind of thing.
I think makes sense. Yeah.
Which is fine also because I really truly feel like you don't want to debut too many and at such a big event as well, right? So have your established stars in there. So more than likely, have they confirmed the fifth member or are they still playing up the whole we don't know who it's going to be? Even though they screwed Seth.
They officially has a match graphic, I believe. But I feel like Seth has already more or less alluded to, he's gonna join because he's angry at being screwed, right? To your point, right? I don't think they should have like debuted anyone new. There's just too much going on.
Yeah.
I rather you solidify your established stars, right?
First,
It's fine to include Bronson and all that. My only concern is where is the Rock in all of this? Where is this fucker who just turned out at Bad Blood, didn't do shit? What's happening there?
He shows up, I'm in Canada, and then leave. I don't know. It's like, so he's probably gonna make an appearance. Like, he's gonna be the big shock at the end, and hopefully this time around he'll do something.
Yeah, and also Alfred brought up a great point. Somebody else I would love to see involved, right? Just in time for War Games. The Wise Man.
Bro, if anything, this will happen the Raw or SmackDown before Survivor Series. Just to lead up, just to give people the one last gasp, right? Like, I don't know if it makes sense for him to show up at Survivor Series itself.
And I'm also campaigning from a few weeks ago, petition for Paul Heyman to appear in a hoodie and bandana.
Oh, stop.
Pull down.
Fella never shaved for 5 months already. The pop when Roman said, "Why? Look, they've done everything right in telling a story. Forget about what. Nobody even cares what they do in the ring. To be honest, if they went in and did Hogan stuff, people would still pop because it's all about, I care about this guy and his story and the betrayal and blah, blah, blah. You're in for the ride. You forgive everything else at this point already. People are literally there. They've paid money. They will pop just to see Roman come in the ring, do this, interact, and F off.
Yeah, I am a big believer of television is for you to do your drama, do your setup, do all your storylines. And when it's like your PLEs, your pay-per-view, then you deliver all those great matches, match of the night, that kind of thing. So you are also prolonging the health of your wrestlers. You don't have to go 100% on each weekly show. I truly believe in that.
So was that a message to... Okay, no. No, but it's true. We've talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about it over and over on the podcast, and that is the main problem with AEW, which we will get to in just a little while. That will be the tail end of the podcast, okay? We will preview Full Gear, which I forgot was happening this weekend.
It's all good. The one thing as well that I would love to say as well about that segment, right? Didn't it feel like a post-credit scene? Almost.
Oh, yes. The fact that now they put the, executive producer, Lee Fitting, Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Why
not go all out, bro? Why not go all out? Why just put full credit, lighting, grip, cameraman? Just go all out, bro.
No, actually, if they did that, right? And then they started inserting post-credit scenes. Then they cut back.
That would be cool. Bro, think about it. You see, if they really acknowledge the fact that this is a television show, right? You see Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, thank
roll
you and good
credit.
Night. And then while they're playing the music and all the roll credit, right?
Yeah.
Do it, but then while you have the camera still staying on the ring or whatever happening after the show, they're celebrating, and then everything goes out, and then the person appears, right? There's so much great way to create all these potential cameos, storyline, Easter eggs, bro. Come on.
No, I 100% agree with what you're saying right there. It's the post-credit scene vibe. Even though Marvel kind of killed the post-credit scene, to be honest. They overdid it. With useless bullshit, right? It became expected. And then it became, they were just shoving stuff in there for the sake of it.
Yeah, agreed. So that was literally a great scene. Nothing much of note happened, but I would like to say, and I don't think we give enough love, right? That Nia Jax and Naomi actually had a great main event. I actually enjoyed that main event, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know no one is paying attention, but I did. For some reason, I just stayed to watch that match. I'm like, hey, this Nia Jax is a pretty good badass Yokozuna style heel for the women.
Is it because of Naomi bringing her up?
So Naomi played a great baby face, fought underneath and all that. But I would like to say, I think Nia Jax has suddenly a great understanding of her character, of her role. Yeah. She's the powerhouse. She doesn't overdo her moves. Yeah. She slows things down. She's a great monster heel.
Yeah, like you said, like a Yokozuna, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Alfred, I do not watch too much Kimmel and Fallon, bro. Please, I'm not a fan of those people, to be really honest. You know who I like? I really like? I like Dave Chappelle. I'm a fan of Conan. Conan
yes.
O'Brien is actually my favorite guy because he's just so ridiculous and over the top.
My favorite was always Craig Ferguson until the Late Late Show.
Craig
Dude was
Scottish.
Yeah, he's super funny and super. Because he had a much later time slot, he could be a little bit more controversial, quote unquote.
Yeah. He's a bit of a flirt, and his flirt game is strong, bro.
Yes.
I love it.
I love his. Bro had riz, as the kids say. But you know, since then he's kind of disappeared, lah.
Yeah, I don't really like all the current because everyone's like kind of like too vanilla. Nobody has a bit of like that edge to them. And everyone is playing very political these days. So
they have to, and they all lean a certain way. Not that I lean anyway, but they all lean left. Yeah.
I would be very interested to have like a Republican late night talk show host. I think that'd be quite funny.
Bro, they have that, but it's not on TV. It's the Joe Rogan podcast. No.
Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan.
No, the funny thing is, I know this is a complete sidetrack, but everyone's like, oh yeah, we need somebody on the left, like a Joe Rogan for the left. But it's like, he was always very progressive until y'all made him a right. Until the left completely shifted, until his middle ground stance became right. Does that make sense?
Wasn't Joe like super into like I mean he's pro cannabis. And like all those things are left leaning stuff, what?
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
so he was actually more in the middle, I would say, leaning left. But then the left moves so far to the left that he becomes right.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? You can swing left, right, whatever you is, as long as you swing the right way, if you know what I mean. Okay, anyway, so
that is the quote of the day, by the way. You can swing left or right, but as long as you what? Swing what?
Never mind. We shall keep this a very friendly podcast. Okay, come. Can we? Okay, so we've talked about WWE. I think we'll dedicate another podcast to actually preview Survivor Series as we get closer to the date.
Yep, next week. Yes. Before we get to Grapplemax, of course, as always, we have to give a big shout out to our lovely sponsor of the podcast, Hasif _ captures. There you go. I
was a bit worried when you had like a bit of a white screen. Like what?
Oh no, that was I pulled up the Full Gear card on Wikipedia.
Okay.
So I had that prepared. I had it on the wrong tab. But yes, Hasif, of course, an independent financial advisor. If you need financial advice, you will need somebody to look through your portfolio, or you want to chat about entrepreneurship, makan, have a day with him, talk about fitness. He is happy to check out the vibes first. That's the thing with him, right? The first meeting is always about the vibes.
Yeah, for sure. And we are gonna make stay tuned for the end of the show. We're gonna make a huge announcement regarding our Kick to the Gut top Singapore Wrestler Top 20 as well, and about a big event that we want to do. And if you want to talk to him and meet him in person, he will be there as well.
Nice.
So guys, please support him. Give him a follow. He's a fan of the podcast. He's a fan of local wrestling and supporting the community. So the least we can do is support him as well.
Exactly. Now let's talk about what happened this past weekend at Jurong Spring CC. Wrestling in the heartlands, bro. How good does that sound? You know,
I love the whole concept, bro. I think we might be on to something with Grapplemax, what Grapplemax is doing, right?
Yeah, and I love it because we always say, right, good storytelling or good wrestling is easily explainable. You don't need to go and have a PhD in these two fellas' backstory as long as they tell a great story in the ring. And as a general sort of summary, I would say that Grapplemax put on a show that indeed you could just be walking by, see a bit. Oh, this fella acting like this, he bad guy lah, yo. And the other fella, it's easy to understand. I could explain. Okay, so this is a weird sidetrack, right? You know, I do these videos for content on my social media now for any event that I go to, like essentially. You know, it's all part of quote unquote work, right? And I find that nowadays, right, if I can summarize what I watch in one sentence, then it did its job. It's, you know what it is? Have you heard of the elevator pitch?
Yes, of course. For sure.
If you can pitch your idea within a few sentences, then you got it. It's a great idea.
Yeah. So pro wrestling in the heartlands that appeals to everybody.
Yeah.
That was what Grapplemax did.
Yeah, you don't need to know their history. You just watch the show and then, okay, you understand from inference. AEW, pay attention. Okay.
Wait, one more thing as well. Can I contrast this, to preface this by saying that after I watched Grapplemax 1 week, after I watched SPW 1 week, I experienced both shows, experienced both crowds. I really realized what... Can we talk about the different philosophies of SPW and Grapplemax? I think it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
I think when you watch an SPW show, it's really kind of like a more rowdier crowd. It's a more kind of, there is an element of danger. There's an element of like, it's like a wild crowd. It's like I would say it's like an ECW kind of crowd, right?
Correct.
And the violence is there. You have more, I would say it's kind of loose in terms of like the format. There's like a great sense of like anything can happen, and I think that's the kind of like atmosphere you're trying to create. And when I was talking to like Hasif and my girlfriend, even my boss that was there at that point in time, they were like, yeah, I can imagine this is kind of like a very wild show. Like Hasif said, it's like a play. My boss was saying like, this reminds me of when I watch Muay Thai in Thailand. Yeah, and there's beer going around. Like there's a lot of things that happen, and I kind of appreciate like, okay, there's a crowd for this.
Yeah,
the people can watch for this, right? And when I contrast it with Grapplemax, right, when I was kind of sitting down and I saw the crowd, and I remember what you told me when we sat down. It's like, wow, this crowd all like not bad, quite quiet. The crowd
very proper, too proper
crowd.
In fact, yeah.
Proper crowd.
I mean, if you want me to compare it to other wrestling that we know, right? I would compare SPW to more like Attitude Era. I would compare Grapplemax to maybe Current Era, where things are a little bit more like story driven, easily digestible, understandable for the mainstream.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I also feel that there has been a shift in the philosophy for Grapplemax almost.
Yes.
Because I felt, okay, Grapplemax for a long time, of course, has the roots in Japan, right? You had Nick Togo as an advisor, you had that New Japan connection.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if like, okay, we've taken, previously it's really all about fighting spirit, all about like delivering great moves, showing the character of the guy, babyface, all that kind of stuff. Like, it really felt like it had that Japanese philosophy, right?
Yep.
But the thing about that Japanese philosophy is it works for Japanese culture, because Japanese culture like really respects all this work ethic and blah blah blah.
Correct.
But yet you have to understand, for Singaporeans, right, we grew up on Western wrestling, right? North American wrestling.
WWE,
so we do want that mix of character, story, and I think Grapplemax somehow have evolved beyond just like the philosophy of like the Japanese style of wrestling. Pro wrestling, right, in a way, but also you have all these elements, because like previously it's all about grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, but now characters are being developed. You see the difference, bro. The presentation, especially Grapplemax Festival, wrestling festival, everyone's Titantron level up, bro. Right?
Yeah. But to be fair, SPW said also everybody's Titantron level up. So, I mean, just to sort of summarize it, yes, it's for two different audiences, and that's always a good thing. You have alternatives now. So, you want a boozy night out with your friends, SPW is there for you. You want to bring your wife and kids to a wrestling show, Grapplemax is there for you.
Yeah, exactly. And as an observer, right, we are observers of the local wrestling industry. This is great. This is perfect, because the market is starting to mature, because there's like options, right? And the whole connection that they have with People Association, literally kind of like sponsoring or like holding the event in collaboration with Grapplemax. Bro, you're bringing in government as well. Now you have government support. Like, bro, can you imagine 10
stamp
years
of
ago?
approval, bro. This is Singapore. Everything got government support can.
yeah. Holy shit, that's great. Like, I feel that, whoa, now you have this kind of backers. There's so many things we can do, bro. Wrestling in the heartlands, wrestling at Tampines Mall, wrestling at Jurong Point.
Marymount CC, next one, please. The one nearest to me. Right into your local MP to tell them, or grassroots leaders, to bring Grapplemax to the heartlands.
You all complain, no one using the CC, only old people using. No. You say, you bring Grapplemax to all these CCs, I will come and watch. I will come to your CC and I'll buy stuff there.
All the young people will come and check it out because, happening lah, got wrestling lah. This thing that everybody is watching on Netflix. Bro, 2025, you're excited, I'm excited for good reason. Okay, let's talk about the Grapplemax Pro Wrestling Festival. Match by match, of course, is their 8th anniversary. Now, those of you who were there, by the way, please feel free to sound off in the comments what you thought about the matches also. And our ratings are up on our Patreon already, are they?
Yes, correct. They are now live. I'm just yet to add yours and Prabhu's. But again, if you're a Patreon member, you actually have the opportunity to vote and give your star ratings for each match. But I will tell you mine as well.
Yes. Let's start with SPD versus Julian, the grudge match that kicks off the show. Okay, To me, I was a little bit like head scratching when that match was announced as the first match. I
Mm.
thought the next match would be the first match, but it is what it is, I suppose. I feel like because this match had more history, that it's not immediately understood what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
But it's also, if you're a long-time Grapplemax fan, right?
Yeah.
If you sit down and watch it, like, okay, you know this history between SPD and Julian, right?
Correct.
And I do know that they tried to tell that story on the Titantron, right? But I also was very, very much aware that there was a lot of new people attending Grapplemax for the first time during that show, right?
And that's the thing about Singaporeans. We are all late. Most people probably came in the video player already, don't know who these two fellas is. What's their beef? You know what I mean? So yeah. That was my point. Like, I feel like it should have started with something high flying so that immediately people go, oh, ooh, ah,
Yeah, correct. So I think we are both aligned that this should not have been the first match.
Yeah. That said, though, I mean, I feel like, he's so underrated. It's become like an albatross. It's like a negative thing, even though we mean it as a very positive thing, right? You know who I'm talking about here now.
Yep. I would say Julian. Yes. Julian is that underrated guy.
He understands what being a heel is. Here's the problem with a lot of what's going on, let's say, in AEW. We saw a bit of it in SPW as well, right? Heels doing cool shit to a point where, like, oh, I just want to be a cool heel. People cheer me, I don't care. Whereas a good heel is somebody who's not like morally bad. He just doesn't give the audience what they want. So this one spot highlighted to me that Julian understands what being a heel is. He chopped, and then the crowd go, woo, you want one more time, one more time. And then he didn't give it.
Love it. I love it.
Right?
No, it was perfect. Perfect.
It has nothing to do about his moral values, his storyline, blah, blah, blah. In the moment you don't give the crowd what they want, you're the bad guy, I boo you.
Correct. Give me 1 second, I'm going to open the door.
So basic. Wait. Are you going to bring Julian in or something like that? Suddenly he has a big surprise for everybody. Okay, while Foreign heads off randomly to greet his mystery guest. Yes, that's what I thought when that happened. I was like, the basics. Sometimes we get caught up with all the fancy moves when the basics just need to be there for it to be understandable and appreciated.
Yeah, I think for the longest time, I've always thought like, Julian was the most underrated member of Showtime, not because he wasn't good, or like we didn't notice his work. I just felt like everyone had like very clear storylines, right? You had Showtime being the head heel, you had Kelvin with his like intern storyline, you had Prabhu
SPD being
SPD being ousted, and you had Prabhu like becoming like the ace or like the young gun rising star in Showtime, right? But Julian always felt like he's the mechanic. He's the one that can be the great supporting utility player, can fit in any role.
Yep.
And I think now that they're telling this whole story of like, okay, he is gonna be the last guy standing from Showtime, active member, right? I would love for that to go into a story, because when he got the victory here, I was surprised. But after I reflected and ruminated for a bit, I was like, SPD already had a big victory, signature victory for against Showtime. He doesn't need this. I think Julian needs this to kind of go up to another level as a solo wrestler.
Same. I agree with you. And I like that this is not over, because it is a grudge match, but also at the same time, it's like, this is unfortunate circumstance that Prabhu is injured, Showtime is injured, I believe, right? Calvin's overseas, right? So I think this has more legs, maybe another stipulation in the future. But I don't know about this being the opener. That's my only gripe.
Yeah, wasn't a fan as well. But I also agree with what Div said, right? Julian is so good at being a heel that he's taken for granted. Can we also give some props to SPD as well? I think SPD, this is his first appearance. Was it his first appearance since he had that excursion in Philippines? He went to Manila Wrestling Federation, and bro, he looks good now, bro. He's now svelte. Can I say he more sachok now? Now that he kind of like dropped a bit of that baby fat weight. And I can literally take him seriously as like a potential like future main eventer right now, because he just needs to get those reps in as a, like a baby face. I love him using MCR. Yeah. Like, bro, I'm a fan, right?
Except for the fact that they edited it so that the drop came at a different point and everyone missed the drop.
Bro, we were like, where's the when I was young?
They
He
just
said,
stick to the chorus, and then everyone was like, oh, everyone started, oh, where, no, it's not like I laughed, yeah.
okay, if I can give a bit of a musician producer's note, don't need to start with the piano. Ding, ding,
No, but you need the
straight,
notes. You need the notes,
bro.
right?
Just start with Gerard Way, when I was a young. Just start there, bro. Then everyone can get hyped. Okay, sorry, this is literally my own. No, yeah, Prabhu was saying he literally came straight from Philippines for this match.
Wait,
Respect.
SPD was wrestling at the last Grapplemax show, Amplify 5, Prabhu said.
Oh, yes. Prabhu mentioned, yes. He
Yeah,
reminded us. He had that match with Dave, and I remember Prabhu was saying that both were kind of like carrying injuries.
Yep.
So that was also a bit of an issue with why that match was a bit clunky. But I think here SPD had a bit of definitely shown more form. He's kind of back in form. And for the longest time, I think earliest part of 2024, he was the biggest babyface.
Yes.
In my opinion, right? Almost overshadowing Wilson, but like, yeah,
So,
I think, yeah.
Question. Moving forward, right? What can he add to this story? Because at this point, like, it feels like, I don't want to say that his momentum is sort of like waning a little bit ever since that whole, he was ousted, but it's been like how many months since he was quote unquote ousted already, right? As they potentially carry this feud on, like, what can he do, or what new wrinkle? I feel like he needs something like a new wrinkle.
I think
his
SPD
character.
SPD needs to move away from Showtime. I think that story has been told. I think going to 2024, right? I do not know what's the situation with the cruiserweight title, because I think maybe he needs to climb a few more rungs to go back to the world title.
Right.
But I would love SPD to hold like a mid-card title, whether it's here or maybe in another promotion.
Yeah. That's why he's doing all the excursions and stuff like that. But
yeah. I think I would love for him to go on like a Lavin kind of run, and we're going to talk about him later, right?
Gosh, yes.
Where he trains or like does a tour around Asia, gets a bit more reps, wins a title somewhere, and then comes back to Grapplemax to defend it. I would love to see him test himself against like other international wrestlers, but wrestling in Singapore. That would be what I would say for him. Div says, I have theories. Tell us, Div.
Finally, justice for Showtime Inc. Hey, I thought you're supposed to be the objective silverback. That seems like a very subjective comment there, bruh.
It's a lot of interpretive meanings that Prabhu gave, right?
But yeah, solid match by the two. But I think, with Julian picking up the win, he did stand out a little bit more, which is what I'm worried for. Like SPD, you know how much of a fan I am of his work, right? It's like, I feel like he needs something else moving forward.
I think his character needs to be more defined beyond SPD. Like maybe a bit more, and it's weird for him to say a bit more of personality, because he does have a great personality. But I feel
when he was a heel, he was oozing personality. Remember?
Oh yeah, he was incredible. Remember, he was drinking Coke all the time.
Yeah, exactly, right. But now that he's a babyface and he had the "I've been betrayed" aura around him.
That was a great storyline. Yeah.
Now moving forward, like, that's sort of waned and gone away already. Get over it. What have you done for me lately? Right?
Correct.
I'm waiting to see that next evolution, as it were. All right, let's move on to the next match, a triple threat match. This one, I mean, we mentioned it earlier. I think that it should have started the card to get everybody up on their feet.
Yeah. Overall, I was just thinking when I first saw this, I was like, oh, they are very clear. This is the cruiserweight, right? They try to market it as the cruiserweight showcase. And can I just say, for all the jokes about Mike Kasem, Shaheen in the ring was mightily impressive, bro.
Dude,
loved it.
Okay, so there's a bit of a disconnect for me, and I don't mean this as a negative, right? But once again, wrestling is a visual piece of entertainment. The second you see him, is like, wow, that one athlete. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, he's a cruiserweight, but he's like kind of almost bigger than SPD and Julian.
Oh, you're talking about Shaheen, right?
Yeah, he's a cruiserweight, and he's supposed to be high flyer, but he's almost bigger size than the other two. So there is like a very marked difference.
You know what it is? I think Singaporeans, we need to establish our own weight class, bro.
Right.
We need to call it the Singapore weight.
Atom weight lah, bro. Atom weight.
No, we don't call it atom weight because very, very putty. Because technically, this is the average weight and height and build for Singaporeans, right? So you should call it the Singapore weight, bro.
No, but see, that's the thing. And this goes to the whole argument of AEW, like everybody looks like they could be us, right?
Yeah.
Whereas one Shelton Benjamin come in, all of a sudden he looks like a freaking destroyer,
Yeah.
let alone a Bobby Lashley. So I think that there's a bit of a disconnect there. I don't
Okay.
think it's a big deal. I think we usually, in general, I grade on a scale. I get that this is Singapore, the talent pool is slightly smaller, so it's like close one eye sort of a situation, right? But yeah, the second Shaheen came in, it's like, wow, this fella looks like a star.
Another thing as well, I would say that Shaheen, while he was really mightily impressive, you've seen some of his accolades. He was one of the first Arabs to train in New Japan.
Yeah.
I was trying to pay attention and focus more on Simon and Jordan, right? I want to see how they have grown, what are they going to bring to this match. And
Jordan has grown. I mean, we talked about it last time. He has put in the effort. You have to give it to him. He's put in the effort to bulk up, to look like a wrestling star.
Yes, I think Jordan visually looks great, amazing, right? Character-wise, and I think Deep alluded to as well, they really established their character. And that's also why I could follow this match really, really well.
Yes.
Shaheen was like the international star coming in, a bit of a baby face, smiling, happy to be there. And then you have Jordan, who is this heel returning from a long hiatus, looking to prove himself, hungry to establish his dominance. And he was kind of a dick from the beginning.
Yes.
Middle fingers everywhere, trying to tell them, oh, you all fight me, blah, 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 shake hands, kind of, And I love the trash talking he had in the ring. He wasn't afraid to kind of interact with the audience. And I want more wrestlers to have a bit of that, right? And then you have Simon, who is clearly the underdog in the situation. But I like that he was an underdog, but you can tell like he's not gonna let his small size stop him from making an impact. And also he was really trying to match up like in terms of like the intensity and like move for move with the other wrestlers. But almost like it, and I know you're gonna say this as well.
Yeah,
he was a step behind the rest, right?
Because once again, we talk about there's levels, right? I feel like with Shaheen, and perhaps he's got more reps, obviously. It did feel like he was trying to catch up to Shaheen, and therefore it led to a few kind of like mistimed situations and mistimed spots. I feel like almost if that was the case, and maybe Shaheen should have slowed down. Maybe it's on him to slow down a little bit more, right? You know what I mean?
And also another issue is I feel like because of the like Simon kind of being a step behind, I kind of wish it was almost like they already kind of like predicted that it's gonna happen, and then play into a storyline where like there was like a test, like maybe Shaheen's like, hey, can you match up to me? And then like, oh, he's struggling, and then like he gets angry. For example, he's like, shit, I really want to match up. I'll imagine if that was the story right now.
But yeah, Shaheen was super smooth. Like everything he did looked great, which is the quote unquote risk lah. It makes other people look less smooth, I suppose, right? Jordan didn't suffer from that problem because that's not his game. He's striking, and he just played up his strikes.
Yeah. So another thing I would say, like while Simon, yes, was a step behind, and while Jordan was like, playing in his own lane, staying in his lane, right? Why this match worked for me, and as well talking about getting the crowd hyped, right?
Yep.
I think this make people realize, oh shit, there's this level of wrestling in our heartlands. And I know Shaheen was a big contributor of it, but like you have a Jordan, you have a Simon who is able to like execute all these great moves. And I think that can bring in the casuals. Like, okay, flippy shit utilized in the right way, one time in the whole card helps a lot.
But bro, like we bitch about flippy shit, right? When we bitch about flippy shit, we bitch about the fact that when they do like a Canadian destroyer, they pop up like nothing. This is not the case here. They wrestled like when shit hit, it felt painful. Okay, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? So yes, flippy shit is impressive, but if you don't sell it, it becomes not impressive because it means nothing anymore.
Yes, correct. I would love like flippy shit to be used to kind of like get the casuals to like, oh wow, this shit is happening.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then tell the story after that.
Yes, it's like when Jeff Hardy jumps off a ladder and then he crashes into people. He doesn't get right back up. He like lays there like he died also. He sacrificed his body. So all of a sudden, you are telling that story of, oh, this guy, even though it's going to kill him, he's going to do what it takes to win. That gives you the Darby Allin, quote unquote, the Jeff Hardy underdog vibe, which is what Simon Xia has, right?
Agreed. Bandit Tuck. That's not Ban Sacha, right? But we just saw a Bandit Tuck say his lets were letting. Are you referring to Jordan, bro?
I think he is. Also, Tovakin, big shout out to you as well. Tovakin, were you at the Grapplemax show? I saw him at SPW.
Yes,
Tovakin.
I think I saw him at SPW only. Tovakin is a pitcher, but never gives his grades. I think he's keeping his thoughts on the match close to his chest. Is that the case, Mr.
My
Tovakin?
boy is a busy man, but it's
A
all
real-
good.
yeah.
Really fun match, which I thought should have started the show. So there you go. That's Simon versus Jordan versus Shaheen. Shaheen got the win, and it made sense because, okay, in the long-term scope of things, this doesn't really affect long-term storytelling because Shaheen is like the guest, right? It's like a one-off.
Yeah,
It felt like an
yeah.
exhibition match more than anything.
This was, and I think maybe if I look at it from the scope of like Jordan just returning from a hiatus, I think this is kind of like getting his reps in, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where Simon goes from here, though, because Simon, like we like his fire, we like his attitude, but I also feel like there's a reason why he's wrestling at this type of matches, right? Like he's definitely, I would say, an undercut in Grapplemax. He's still trying to prove himself. I want to see how he can go to the next level. Can he be a contender? Can he get involved in storylines? What can he do next to improve his character?
Bro, what do you think of a Jordan Simon tag team?
Ooh. But Jordan is a heel and Simon's a babyface.
I know the whole turning him to the dark side has been done before, right? But like, I feel like they have that sort of, like chemistry, the vibe.
Interesting. Well, again, are we gonna tell another story similar to the Broken Bed, though? Right?
Exactly. True.
Yeah.
If that story is done with, then maybe.
Yeah. Prabhu was mentioning as well, Jordan did a great job wrestling smart and letting the others two hurt each other. Yes, I
He's
agree.
a heel. He just left the ring, let them fight. Classic.
Yep. As well. And Prabhu also say Simon is starting to get over as a character. I do not deny that. He is becoming, like, people are starting to gravitate towards him, right? And his story and what he brings to the table, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Div says she had the same thought as I did.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Simon and Lavi made a great tag team. Oh, can we also acknowledge, because I was doing the Singapore Wrestling Top 20 list and kind of like compiling everything. We almost forgot that Simon and Lavi had a great rivalry. Like they had that feud where they were kind of like one-upping each other, trading victories. And I think moving on from that, because Lavi went away, Simon was floundering a bit, right?
Yeah.
But him as a character, I think what it needs to happen, right, is he needs to interact with other wrestlers. I think he needs a feud.
Yeah, he needs a few, exactly, right? So that we can, establish or get more sympathy behind him, especially if the other wrestler bullies him or whatever. La. So maybe Jordan versus Simon is the feud going into 2025. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. You know who I wish would return to Grapplemax? And I know he's out, he's been injured. And shout out to him. I'm always a fan of him. Irfan, bro. Remember Irfan?
Yes. Oh.
And imagine an Irfan Simon match. How that dynamic will be like.
It's like Rikishi versus Rey Mysterio, or Big Show versus Rey Mysterio.
Yes. And I think I know they have Wham Bam Bellows coming. Remember there was this one time, who was somebody on the chat, Dave, you might know this. Who was that guy that was like super hairy and big size fella, and then he fought Guru last time? Remember that guy?
I don't remember, bro. From where? Australia.
I think he's from Japan, but he's kind of like an Indian-looking guy, like botak head, got the most big Masai, and like, yeah, he was big. He looked a bit like a Asian version of George the Animal Steel.
What the heck?
Okay,
wait,
somebody on the chat will definitely know what I'm talking about.
Grapplemax guy lah. I mean, he wrestled at Grapplemax, not SPW.
Like something Tango, Masa Tango or something. So I'm so sorry, my memory suddenly left me.
We'll figure it out at some point.
Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is, I want to see Simon fight super heavyweights.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense. Makes for compelling babyface, like, fight from underneath stories.
Yeah.
Okay, Tovakin says he's the sleeping member. All right, let's talk about the next match then. Let's move on to the mixed tag team match. And I said it right from the start, bro. Remember when the first time we saw Christian, I was like, that guy will make a very good heel one day.
Bro, you said it right from the start about Christian. I said it right from the start about Sarah. I always knew they were heels, bro. There you go. Sorry, I just need to correct all that. Yes, Big Dave and Prabhu, thank you. Hoshi Tango, yes, that guy.
Oh, yes. Also, hello to Big Dave.
Hello.
We're going to play a clip. We interviewed Big Dave after the match. And yeah.
Bro,
Suddenly
Tobakins,
a bit scared because Big Dave is in the chat.
we will talk about him in a bit. Tobakin say, yes, I was at SPW because my boss wanted to watch it. So why is it with
Wow.
us bringing all our bosses to watch SPW?
Hey.
Why no boss bring to watch Grapplemax, huh?
Bro, I tell you what, we spread the word. We get it out there, right? We are the influencers, bro.
Yes, we influence our people to buy a ticket to watch wrestling. Can.
KOL, let's go.
So are the promotions, do we get affiliate marketing because we get people to watch it?
Oh my god. Hey, use promo code for
Use promo code FOREIGN to get $1 off your Grapplemax tickets. Nice. It's free, guys. Come on. Okay. Sorry. Yes, Hoshi Tango. Thanks, guys, for mentioning. Let's talk about, and Tobakin as well. You don't need to give your grades. Next year can give our list close already,
bro. Tovakin is a teacher. He give grade every day.
Oh yeah.
Very tiring, bro.
Make him do assessment for wrestling. No. He need to switch his brain off and watch wrestling.
Correct.
Okay.
I know he watches AEW, so that one really switch off brain, throw in the trash. Okay. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Okay.
Just kidding, but not really. Let's talk about Divya and Mingray versus Ships
Ahoy.
I know when we talk to Christian and Sarah, and they keep alluding to the fact that, it's nothing different. We've always been like that, or they keep alluding to the fact that this is not a heel turn and that they are right. Almost as if to say because heels always believe that they are in the right. What,
Agreed. But as well, right? Like this whole friendship thing, right? Right? I agree. Like, you can be great friends, but you can be Hitler and Stalin. Those are friends.
Hell? What? You went all the way one side, yeah? What?
Bro, that is the power of friendship. You see, friendship can lead to great things, but can also lead to the destruction of the world. So what I'm saying is, I guess you can angle friendship in different ways, and I like that they use friendship as their reason for being heels, right?
Okay. Greg is in the house, by the way, who's on holiday in Korea, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Hey, Greg, well deserved. Take a holiday. Yes. I think when we spoke to him that day. Okay, give a shout out to everyone from Grapplemax. All of you guys apparently had little or no sleep on the day before because you guys were moving the ring and setting up and all that. And also, you guys, deserve that 1 week break or however long you guys are taking because, bro, respect, man. Like, making it happen. So yeah, Greg, enjoy your holiday. And like Div said, GST is in the house, bro.
GST. Usually we don't like GST, but in this case, in the pro wrestling scene, yes, we do. All right.
Yes, correct.
Sarah says, friends are the best.
Okay. So Sarah is here to listen to our podcast live for our review.
Sail their ships into dark waters, as I put it. Like I said from the start, Christian, natural heel. Mingray, I feel, played a very important part in this match. She was essentially the babyface in peril most of the match. For Divya to come in to be the dominant force, as it were.
Yeah, you have to understand also Mingray has been having a bit of a rivalry with Sarah, right?
Yes.
And clearly now they have established that Sarah is the heel in this situation. And I like Mingray's progression because, we for longest time, like we didn't really know her character. She's kind of like, a grade 1 wrestler. Yeah, and like QQ and all that kind of stuff. But now, she's the lion, right? And that has actually added to her character a lot, for sure.
Yes, 100%. I mean, look, it is a thing that you can't really get around because the roster is not that big. At the end of the day, you have the 3 of them. Right? They're trying to switch roles, trying to get reps in, that kind of thing. So I also understand that. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can do when you have limited numbers, as it were.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to D-Shadow. Wait. Before anything. D-Shadow. Bro is wearing your shirt representing.
The represent.
Wait, so we got people listening in from Korea, people listening in from Japan, because I believe The Shadow is back in Japan. Are we an international podcast, Mr.
Yeah, never mind the fact that they're all Singaporean and from Grapplemax. But yes, let's call it that. Let's half the copium, as the kids say. But it's good to see you, Ramus, as well. The whole gang is here.
Appreciate you guys. Okay.
Mingray has had such a poor thing year, but I love that she has evolved. Yeah, I think...
Yes.
I really do hope that you guys get more female wrestlers in there so that you can tell more varied stories with those characters.
Yeah, and another thing as well, I believe that there is a story for everyone on the card, no matter where you are on the card, right? And even if, like, for example, maybe like wrestling skills, you are still learning, still improving, there's no reason why you can't level up things like your gear, your entrance, right? First thing when I saw Mingray come out, what's the first thing that came to my mind?
What?
she look like the queen of villains. Wow, like she look like she can be a character in the Queen of Villains Netflix Japanese show, right?
For sure, that's a really good observation too. Like everyone's gear has leveled up. I will say everyone's social media game has leveled up as well. Like they're doing more videos. I could stand to see more, but sometimes all that takes reps. If there's one thing I will say about being comfortable in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, right? Reps.
Yes, reps.
You could be the most introvert person. If you force yourself to do it every day, record yourself, even if you don't post, record, you will get better one. 100%.
Yeah, I have a full album of me just talking to myself, man. Just like, hey, what's up? It's Foreign in the building.
I don't want to go through your phone, bro, and then see you all like, oh, you look very handsome today. Well done, Foreign.
Hey. Can we don't sidetrack? Let's talk about the wrestling. Let's talk about Ming Ray's performance. I
now have this. This is my new headcanon, right? That in Foreign's phone, there's this whole reel of him just going, "You will do great today. You will do great things today.
You are loved.
Oh my god.
You better." Okay. Anyway. Okay. Wait. First of all, yes. Let's give a shout out to Remus as well, because I think when you talk about social media leveling up the game, all those video packages that you see before the match, Remus is the guy. And I also want to give a shout out to Remus because we had that conversation as well, where he was telling me, like, I was saying, like, oh, what's in it for your character, like post Inglorious, you guys, are you like kind of taking a break and all that? And then he said, like, I believe that I am of more use, or I can contribute more to the local wrestling scene where I am, doing all this production work, photography, than actually being in the ring. And I was like, bro, I respect. I actually kind of like high-five here. I was like, yeah, like we can have all these great wrestlers, but we need people to tell the stories of these wrestlers. We need people to like, create great packages for these wrestlers, and we need people to like us to talk about the scene. That only then can we kind of make the community thrive further than just a wrestling holding a show. Who's gonna cover it, right?
Yeah,
so,
I love it. I love the not just the self-awareness, but also like I guess in a way a sacrifice, right? Yeah, let other people have the limelight, because here's the thing about the wrestling business. A lot of it is ego-driven. Of course, you want to be the star, right? You want to be the guy in the ring, either as a heel or a babyface, but you want to be the performer, right? It takes a lot to take a step back and say, okay, you know what? I'll be the unseen guy, but I'm going to do video packages for them to make these guys and gals, take their presentation to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. So
Prabhu says, where can I listen to this Foreign Affirmations podcast? Hey, that's our next thing, bro. How about every week, kick to the gut, kick to the
foreign affirmations.
Foreign affirmation. You are loved.
Big Dave, you are a great heel. Ming Ray, we love your costumes. Prabhu, I love your new tattoo. I've never seen it before. Do you have more that you can show me?
Okay, so subscribe to our Patreon right now if you would like to receive your daily dose of Foreign Affirmations. He will send it directly into your DM, reminding you of what a wonderful person you are. And that you are loved and appreciated.
Okay, this is going off the rails very quickly. Can we stick to the wrestling? And I want to also highlight what Div said. Also a bit of a full circle moment that Div kicked Ming Ray, and now that Ming Ray has evolved, she's happy to help a lion out.
Oh.
I like that story because I think one thing I wanted to say was like, since Divya, right, has joined the promotion and being a trainer, like I almost felt like there's a lot of level up in terms of the stories being told for the women as well. And I did notice this, Div, like Divya, I guess, was kind of testing the roster out, asking them to kind of level up, kind of giving hard love. And then now that has unleashed the lion in Ming Ray, she's able to like kind of like match up to her level in a certain way and also show a bit of aggression. And I think the aggression is what was missing from a lot of the women previously. And now is being shown in this match as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I love that they built this match up. And this is a very common thread throughout this entire event, right? The matches made sense from a viewer storyline perspective. You start to end, it ended with a very satisfying finish in a few ways. And I don't know, I mean, you remember this lah. Like, I kept turning to you. I was like, here comes the finish. And so I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, to be honest. I think sometimes a swerve is good. But for the most part, I think because we've watched so much wrestling, we know what makes a good match, where the climax should be. It's almost as if, like, people who study film, they can't appreciate film because they kind of know what's going to happen because, they're all right, this is the point. The tension has been built. This is the climax,
I agree with you to a certain extent, but I also feel like we can reframe that thought, right? By saying like, this is the right time to do it. Yeah,
Yes.
you should do it here. And great that you realize it as well.
Yes,
right?
yes. So bam, the spear was perfect, and Divya and Mingwei picked up the win.
Yeah, love it as well. And if I can say something about Ships Ahoy, I feel like, the fact that they have fully embraced their friendship for Dastardly Means, right?
Yes.
And after that, after the show still coming to us and ask us to buy their gear, I think that is perfect heel work.
Sure.
And thanks for, but and also another thing also I would like to say, right? Like the fact that Christian was involved in programming a lot of that lighting and the entrances. The fact that they were actually, you got their stuff as well.
Sail on the friendship.
Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Your 2x4 is like way up there. I'm not gonna take it because it's not worth me taking it. Anyway, but and also Sarah and Sarah, they're all involved in like designing the posters that's being sold. Like it's an entire operation. And if nothing else, right? Nothing else. If I can't say anything else positive about them, I would say like their hustle to get themselves over is something I respect. Something 100%. I respect. If I think right, if they can do it, because I know Grapplemax don't do a lot of it. I want Ships Ahoy to cut an in-ring promo the next time they go out to the ring before a match.
Ooh.
Because I want to hear Christian being super bitchy and like telling all of you guys ain't that. I want Sarah she has a great like radio voice, I would say, Sarah, right? I would like Sarah to kind of like crush people with her big words and like mean-spiritedness now that she has embraced it.
Okay.
Have you seen how she talks? She uses big words. She's a verbose character, She's like
just because she had some words for you only suddenly what?
No, I have nothing against that. What I'm just saying is like I feel she should embrace that side of her. She has a great voice. Use it. Cut heel promos. Get hit from the audience because I think you guys can do it. So go for it, man.
Mingwei, Foreign is still very open to managing somebody to go up against Sarah. Just FYI, or whoever else who needs a mouthpiece.
My girlfriend has always told this about me. I don't match the aesthetic. So I don't know whether my aesthetic will match Mingwei's aesthetic, but I can give it a try. You know what I mean?
Okay. Prabhu says Christian and Sean Pang are the unsung heroes of Grapplemax. I'll agree to that. Sarah as well. Yes. Let's move on to the next match, which was wow. Okay, so we talked about just now, like, okay, I could call the end for most of the first 3 matches, right? And then this one, I was like, I didn't even get any footage. What the?
Why?
It happened so fast. Okay,
let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this shadow. Lavin versus Jay Lamrod. Jay Lamrod comes out, obviously cuts a massive heel promo, right? Talks shit about Singapore, talks shit about the people, blah 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 blah. And from a sort of storytelling perspective, easy for me to say, it made sense, right? We've seen this play out before. The foreign heel comes in, shits on the local crowd, local boy comes out, bam, gets a quick win to shock everybody.
Yeah.
But I was like, these two literally traveled in just for the event, and their match was 12 seconds long. I'm like, what's going on? Is there a story there beyond the story that was told in the ring? I appreciated the story that was told in the ring, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, a bit wasted, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, come, Lavin, you're in the chat, right? Tell us what really happened. Talk to us, brother. What happened? Why you squash James Lamrod like that? Huh?
I think he will tell us the true story over day or something like that, lah. But
dark side of the ring, is it?
Well, if anything, right? Just from the presentation of it all, it made Lavin look like $1 billion. The fact that, he just comes in, leg trip him, figure 4, that's it, 1, 2, 3. I mean, not 1, 2, 3, but yeah.
Our Silverback insider said that there was a last-minute scheduling issue with the match, which is why it was what it was.
Were they overrunning?
Wait, so are we saying that the 2 hours was so strict by the Jurong Spring CC that you guys couldn't, like there was an overrun in the earlier match, you guys had to end it earlier?
Maybe. No, Lavin has the reason. Peak Japanese training efficiency.
I see. So who you training with? One Piece? Is it
One Piece?
No. Who's the guy? Who's the guy that? No, one man punch, bro. I was like,
Oh,
you train so much.
One punch man lah. One man punch.
Clearly, I'm not an anime guy,
Okay.
but
So
yeah, okay.
today we have two takeaways. If anything you take away from this podcast is foreign affirmations is the thing, and one man punch.
Okay. Japanese efficiency. I think the dojos, the few months of scrubbing the floors of the dojo has worked, bro. I think.
I'm sorry. I'm still hung up on one man punch.
Okay, good. Okay, first of all, I do not know anything about Jade Lamrod, right? So I was curious to know what he was. I do not know why. Yes, okay. I guess they have given some explanations why this match was that short.
But still, you can still do a 5-minute match, right?
Can I make this a gimmick? Can I propose a gimmick for Lavin? All your matches are 3-minute squashes. You become the Goldberg of Grapplemax, but you're like Ken Shamrock.
Submission.
Yes.
Ken Shamrock is a better example where he goes in there and you never know, he might put you in an armbar, neck crank, whatever MMA move, right? And finish you off.
Yeah, probably. I agree. If Conor McGregor can beat Jose Aldo in 12 seconds, so can Lavin.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between MMA and pro wrestling, right? Like MMA, you never know. A match could end in 1 second. It could end in 10 rounds and it'd be boring as, you know?
Then does that mean, right, have Lavin accidentally stumble upon like a gold mine? His entire gimmick is he's a guy that finishes fast. He's a guy that
That sounds wrong, but okay.
that ends early. You know what I mean? Like maybe
It
right.
wrong.
It still sounds wrong. Okay. He just goes out in the ring. He stands there like like that, right? With his hands like that. And then if you can get like a guy who does his manager for him, like an MVP, that'll be even better.
Yeah.
Who can beat my guy?
5-minute challenge.
3-minute challenge.
Oh.
No, and then Lavi just takes the mic and he says, I got 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Why become Randy Savage? Yeah. Ooh, yeah, 3 minutes, brother. Come in the ring, 3 minutes, brother. I'll tap you up, brother.
So here's what I propose to Greg and whoever that's booking the matches for next year, right? Make Lavin go undefeated the whole of 2025. Match up to everyone, defeat everyone, and like basically give him a bunch of jobbers for the whole of the year. And then get a real legitimate. Okay, I'm not saying he's not legitimate. Of course, Lavin is legitimate, but get an MMA guy to come in and do like a I don't know, like a work match, like a Shayna Baszler Ronda Rousey match between Lavin. So they can match it. Oh, if you can do a crossover match with somebody like Aiden Rex versus Lavin. So basically, Lavin has met his match in this sense. That would be a great way because the undefeated 2025 undefeated champion for Grapplemax, Lavin versus, and then we do like a crossover match. That would be amazing, bro.
Well, I mean, it also will have to do with like whether his schedule allows it. Because the bro is in Japan, right? He just came back just for this. For 12-second match, but still impressive 12-second match. But bro, dude is living out the true like indie wrestler life right now.
It works perfect, bro. Go Japan.
Journeyman.
Just journeyman. Destroy a bunch of Japanese jobbers. Like,
that one not up to him lah, I think.
Yeah, I know lah. But you just go whisper in the ear of the booker there lah. Bro, give me a winning streak in Japan so that I can use it as a storyline whenever I come back to Singapore, right? Undefeated in Japan. Defeated everyone in Japan.
Submission.
Now who can defeat me in Singapore? Yes, all by submission. Can be the Inoki, bro. He is the Inoki or
okay, I like the Ken Shamrock analogy a little bit better. But I totally get it. So I mean, it's to be honest, it was very hard for me to quote unquote grade this because we didn't see much. 12 seconds. But just from pure dominance, I think, hey, that deserves a shout. The presentation, as it were.
Yeah. A part of me wanted to laugh my ass off, which I did.
Yeah.
A part of me wanted to see what the fuck, which I did.
Yeah. But I also wanted, a part of me was like, hey, I wanted to see all his new moves and like, stuff leh. But it's okay. Maybe that's the point. Maybe we have to wait for that.
You tickle Mr. Young's balls like that, give him blue balls. Don't do that, guys. But if you want to do that, yeah, fine, fair enough. But it was an anniversary show, bro. I also wanted to kind of laugh at that because it was an anniversary show, the fact that this was what it was. But again, scheduling, what can we do?
Yeah, it is what it is. All right.
It kept him strong, so that's fine.
It did, yes. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening for the Grapplemax, the inaugural Grapplemax Tag Team championships. It was the finals of the tournament. And okay, I will say this, right? I think that just thinking about it, because I keep bringing up the fact that Aussie, 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 they had that thing, the whole toxic relationship thing that was apparently resolved at the one event that I wasn't at, the one where Wham Bam Bellows was, because they were both crowned honorary Aussies, and then
the house show.
A house show. And I guess the story was quote unquote resolved. I guess it was a case of I had to be there to see how it resolved, because like to me a personality trait like that doesn't go away. You know what I mean? Like suddenly they are just best buds all over again. But I understand it from this is the match we're trying to present for new viewers point of view. You know what I mean? This was the right match in the right spot. It's just that nitpicking once again, I was a bit like, what happened to the toxic Sean?
Yeah, I get it. And I think Dave also alluded to it. Like the open house did give a bit of resolution to that whole story.
Yep.
And I would argue that it should have gotten a bigger stage to have that resolution.
Yep.
I know Amplify, they didn't do much already. They were really building up towards this anniversary show, right?
Yep.
I couldn't remove myself from the thought that do they have some dissension?
Yep.
Like, shouldn't they still have some dissension? Maybe it's like more like uneasy. And I don't know. I'm not sure. But I guess in real life, right? Can we just take a step back from like the kayfabe of it all? In real life, you had somebody like Sean, YC, met each other, became best friends in Australia. They have grinded. And
not with each other.
They have grinded in training for years, in different promotion, different countries, back and forth. And now this year, so much has changed in their lives, right? You have YC gotten married, expecting a child. Not he is expecting, his wife's expecting a child. We have Sean. And I think it's understandable. Like, if I reflect that, like, we're best friends, right?
Yeah.
If the things come in the way, life gets in the way, there's some frustration.
Sure.
You want to keep your eye on the ball. You want to ensure that you become champions. This is the biggest chance for your tag team to be validated. And then you have your partner who is, moving on in the life, right? In his life, personal life. And there's going to be that dissension of like, oh, can you just, focus, get this done? And like, can we, I'm going to resort to this dastardly tactics because I want to get the victory, right? Remember what he said during his interview with us as well, like,
well, we'll play this interview for you in just a few seconds, but yes, go ahead.
Yes, correct. I need to do what it takes to get the victory, right? I'm willing to do what it takes. So that philosophy, I think, was well told throughout the year. And if there was a resolution, I just wish that during this match, they tease a bit of that frustration, but then they work through it again.
I was about to say exactly that. Like, I wish that there was some sort of dissension at first, but they come together to work towards the goal of winning the titles.
Yes.
But imagine in hindsight, sorry to cut you off, but in hindsight also, I kind of get it in that you're adding an extra layer to a story that you might be trying to tell to newbies. Because once again, you have members of the PA, People's Association, and their guests there, right? Not everyone knows all the stories. So maybe it was better served here to tell a very, quote unquote, straightforward, nothing wrong with a straightforward story.
I agree. I completely agree. And I think what Div said is actually in line what I was thinking. Okay, you know what's the best way to resolve any personal issues?
What?
When you suddenly win gold.
Yeah. What's that? CM Punk said, what? Like you become friends because you all make money together or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. But usually people who I make money with become my friends.
Yes. That's kind of that vibe, right?
Yes. So I feel like
I don't know, maybe the payoff will come next year when they lose their titles or something.
Agree. Like I feel like there's the bigger play in this story. There's as what we said to Triple H when Triple H booked, Cody Rhodes to lose with Roman Reigns, right? Like why you lose here? Why? He said no, be patient. There's more to be told. Let them cook. Okay. So on hindsight, I think it made a lot of sense to establish Aussie as like the inaugural Grapplemax tag team champion. They are the only pure active tag team right now in Grapplemax. Okay, I need to reframe my word. I do not want to piss off other tag teams who never say that we don't legitimize them as tag teams as
You
well.
want to call out Sarah? Just call out Sarah.
No. I just want to say that they are one of the active tag teams right now. They are established. They do have history. It only makes sense for the legacy or the title lineage of this Grapplemax Championship to have them as the first champion.
Yep.
And then they can tell the story of them, their ascension afterwards.
Right. Agreed. I thought they did a fantastic match of building this match up. If I were new, didn't know anything about anything, I immediately knew who I was supposed to root for. You had a lot of close finishes. You had the shenanigans. Obviously, the heels constantly trying to cheat to win.
Agreed.
Underhanded tactics. I think we need to give Big Dave a shout out for being the ring general here, putting it all together.
Agreed. And also shout out to Bun as well. I think Bun has really embraced his heeldom. Actually both of them were literally well-oiled tag teams. Well-oiled machines. And I don't know whether people will get this reference, but this reminded me of like a Motor City Machine Guns versus Beer Money match.
Sure.
When I was watching TNA in like late 2000s, like that series of tag team matches was like the best tag team wrestling in all of North America at that point in time. And I would compare Beer Money with Broken Bat. Because Beer Money is a bit more, they got a bit more heft in them. They're bigger size guys. They are more into brawling. And I think what Bun and Dave did was akin to them, like brawling style, a lot of power moves. And even Bun, who I previously maybe miscasted him as this striker / high flying guy, right? He has kind of taken a lot of like the characteristics that Dave have as a brawler, as somebody who leans into that heel tactics, right? And then you have the Motor City Machine Guns, or in this case, Aussie. Fast pace, never let up. Like I wrote down my notes as this was actually the best wrestled match of the whole night.
Agreed.
And it was a great exhibition, or a great showcase advertisement for tag team wrestling in Singapore. These two are really the best tag teams that Singapore has to offer at this point in time, like right now. Like and I would even argue that you have the Horrors at SPW, and they are great at their style, but these two tag teams can match up with them any time of the day.
I agree with you. If anything, right, like to your point of when they put together the tag team titles, I think the question is, your roster big enough, man? You have tag teams that can pull it off, man. And if anything, this has shown throughout the tournament and after this finals, it's like when they finally won, I was like, okay, they've won me over. I think they deserve the tag team titles, Despite my entire gripe about them not actually being Australian. That aside.
And I know they have gone through a tough journey as well in the tournament, right? Please jog my memory, all you Grapplemax experts. Who did Aussie go through in the tag team tournament to defeat them? Because I remember Broken Bat more clearly because I was there when I watched them fight Best Bros. I believe the Big Dave and Bun defeated Inglorious as well, if I'm not wrong. But I can't remember off the top of my head who Aussie went through to defeat and to enter the finals. But the point I'm trying to say is like they had to navigate that very tricky run in the tournament, as well as their own personal issues.
Yes.
And I think that told like a great overarching story throughout the year for Aussie for sure.
So the finish involved Ban accidentally hitting Dave with the chair, right? Leading to the big tag team finisher from the Aussies. So interestingly, this does leave the heels with something to gripe about. So several things can play out, right? So they can contend that, a chair was involved, blah, blah, blah. So everyone still looks good. Is my point, right? Like you don't take away anything from Dave and Ban because there was miscomm and a chair was involved. That's why they lost. But also, does this, what does this say about Ban and Dave's relationship? Like, does Dave punish Ban? Is that what we're gonna see? And then Ban finally turns on Dave in 2025. It does open up like more storytelling avenues here.
You know what I would do if I was the booker? I would probably how I would tell the Broken Bat story is that yes, they are a great tag team. I think they have proven that they can make their tag team work. But if Dave was like the heel guy that I know he can be, he used Bun this entire year, right?
Right.
He used Bun. Bun was a convenient ally for him to recruit. And you have to understand, like, Dave came off like a year of like as a defending champion. He dropped the title.
Yep.
He was recovering. He had injuries to deal with. I think slotting him into the tag team title scene helped him with like the carrying the load.
Yeah.
Or like alleviating the load. Let Bun do all the work. He did let my boy run, do all the work, right? Somewhere or another, I would love Bun to kind of realize it. And then Bun eventually stand up to Dave.
Yep.
And then Bun, with his new killer attitude, his edge to him, defeats Dave in such a vicious way that it turns Dave back babyface, kicks it, he kena, I don't know lah, pile driver, like Kevin Owens pile driver Randy Orton.
Wow.
Just basically takes out Dave completely.
Yeah. I don't know if Dave is very up for that. But that said, I do see where you're going with it in terms of dissension, in terms of a storyline that can elevate Ban. Because ultimately, that has to be the point, right? You know, Dave is already where he is. Ban is the guy that needs a little bit more shine. If anything, I would say, like, considering we just said, like, I feel like this is also the best match of the night, right? You had the Aussie stand out. You had Dave stand out. To me, even though I thought Ban did a great job, he was like the fourth man. Like, you know, like I feel like everyone will have a chance to shine, and hopefully this leads to Ban getting the shine in 2025. Does that make sense?
Correct. Because we're all about keep building your stars, right? Like I think it's time. No, I think Bun has kind of proven himself in the ring a bit.
Yeah.
Now it's to take his character to the next level. Because I would say out of the four, all three others are very established in their characters.
Correct.
Bun is still there. So like, tell that story. I'm fine with Broken Bat, dissolving in 2025.
Okay, since we are talking about Dave and Ban, let's cut to this little conversation that we had with Dave right after, the event. And guys, take a listen.
Dave, not the result that you wanted, obviously. A bit of miscommunication with Ban. Tell us about, how do you feel after that shot, by the way?
Are you dumb? Are you daft? How are you an interviewer? How do I feel about that shot? Why don't you get hit by a chair and then you tell me how does that feel? Young, have you been hit by a chair before? No. Have you? Shut up! You are the worst interviewer of all time, so I'll let Foreign do it.
Okay. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, Young was just feeling oozy, Anyway, so yes, Big Dave, I've been a proud supporter of you from your time as Grapplemax Openweight Champion until now, all the way to the finals of the Tag Team Championship Tournament. Can I just say, like, your tag team, bro, Broken Bat, started off as unlikely allies. Somehow he has turned, Ban Sacha has turned to your ideals now, and now you guys are a well-oiled machine. Actually, one of the best tag teams in Grapplemax. Do you foresee yourself still being a tag team? Do you still want to go down this path, or is it back to singles competition after this?
You know what? I honestly don't know. I'm sure Ban didn't mean to hit me with a chair. I'm sure. I've trained the boy well enough. But, see, I just did a very tiring match. I've been around since forever.
Yes,
I've rarely missed any matches for 11 years. I'm banged up, as you can see. I'm tired. Maybe I'll take a rest. I don't know. Right? And of course, I want to take a break from stupid questions like, how did that feel to get hit in a chair? Obviously painful, you daft little yellow shirt guy. You're the better interviewer. I'm sick of this.
I appreciate it. All right, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.
There
Dave.
you go. That's Dave.
Never changed.
It's a reasonable question, I thought.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I still maintain that was a reasonable question, but that aside. Yes, so Dave always has a lot of fun with us after these events. Oh, wait, hang on. There you go. Yeah, you're back. Yes.
Yes, I think he gets more kick out of bullying us than bullying people in the ring, bro. What's going on?
I think so too. But okay, we did manage to speak with Aussie Aussie after the match as well. Anything you want to add about Aussie Aussie before we play with this clip?
I think nothing much. I mean, I'm proud of them. Of their title victory. I think it's well deserved. And they scored really high marks for me on this night. I think maybe I can just kind of spoil it for them. Like I gave both of them 5 stars.
Ooh.
5. Dave Meltzer has given you a 5-star rating, guys.
No, foreign
job.
stars worth more than Dave Meltzer stars. Okay?
For sure.
Let's check out the clip we have with YC and
So
Sean.
we are here with the inaugural Grapplemax Tag Team Champions, Aussie Aussie Aussie! Hey, congratulations, you guys. How does it feel?
Oh man, I've never had any childhood dreams of holding a belt, but holding on to it, this metal against my chest, and this brother right by my side, I cannot ask for anything more.
This has been a long time coming. We've gone through a lot of things together, both personally and professionally when we're wrestling, and I think it's just the start of something new.
Yes, and don't think this is all at an end. These belts, we gotta be fighting champs. Anyone, we'll take on absolutely anyone. If they think they can beat up to Aussie Aussie Aussie.
Guys, it's been a rocky road. We remember the past couple of weeks. There have been a bit of friction. How did you guys come together?
Well, after a while, last year we didn't have a really great streak. I'm annoyed with myself. I decided to improve, regrow, change into something new. Results are what matters. I need to win. But in that process, there's a lot more to it than just that. It's not just me. It's not just the amount of wins I clock. Whoever who supported me right by my side is right here, right next to me with those belts. And I cannot ask for anything more.
That is right. And it's something that I always believe that I'll never give up on my friend and my tag team partner, who I'm happy and proud to the only person I want to do this with.
I mean, looking back at your journey as a tag team, right? I think you guys debuted, was it 2020? 2022. So it's 2 years. 2 years of grinding as a tag team. From the bottom, we've seen you fighting against the likes of Bad Company to surviving like Wham Bam Bellows. You fight all challenges, all comers, and grown as a tag team. But what's the most memorable part and journey as a tag team so far, and now leading up to this moment?
Wow. I think the most memorable part is going back to Australia together to train with the best from Australia, David Storm, Damian Slater. Thank you.
Definitely, those two have been very great mentors outside of the country and also inside within the country, our great mentors, okay? Big Dave, fantastic, formidable opponent, but we remembered our first days in the studio / dojo, whatever you want to call it. He was there to grind us down to smithereens, and we rise up again once more against him for the inaugural tag belts.
And not forgetting N-Boss Gregory and LK. Thank you for everything. I hope we made you proud.
Guys, congratulations. Can we focus in on one more detail? Check out those eyebrows. Bro, you got to tell me the secret. How do you get those eyebrows like that?
Genetics.
The eyebrows. And okay, can I just say, right, watching the two of them interact, right? And YC just has this lovable, vibe to him, oh my God, I love my big bro. All the more, if Sean ever truly turns on YC, bro. I'm just saying, I know they resolve their issues, they've become champions and stuff like that, but if they ever do break up, I think that, there's a huge story to be told there. And there's precedents already. Once things went bad, Sean showed his toxic side, right? So...
Yeah, agreed. Let them cook lah. I'll defer it to them. Let this year be like a happy year for Aussie. 2025 will always change the situation. So
Agreed. So there you go. That's the tag team titles. Now let's move on to the main event. Let's talk about it. We're talking about Hotshot versus Kyle. Let's talk about Kyle's entrance music first of all. Bye. But a rather different version of that song, huh?
Yeah. It's a pop punk version. I think from Further Since Forever. I'm a fan. I'm a fan, bro. That he said it right. I was talking to him after the show. He was like, "I want you guys to boo me, but I want you guys to bob your head to my theme song." Yeah.
But it's weird, right? Because the song, it's obviously a song we all recognize, but somehow it does fit his character, and he's more quote unquote heelish version of himself lah, dropping the whole DJ thing.
I see. Yeah, for sure. I think dropping it kind of really establishes, okay, now I'm a heel, right? Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because he was such a beloved babyface as well. I think the question I had in my mind was okay, will people take him as a heel, right? And everything from how he challenged Hotshot at the previous event to how he jump-started the match, sort of tells you this is a different Kyle. He's more vicious, he's more ruthless, and you gotta appreciate the audience interaction throughout the entire match as well. He was constantly talking shit, and I think that, a lot of times that is not shouted out lah, as it were, in terms of establishing him as the heel character in this story. Once again, going back to if this were presented to somebody new who didn't know their long backstory, you immediately know who the bad guy, good guy. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm happy generally with how this match was laid out. I think even like everything from like from Carl like kind of like straight away starting off the match, trying to disrupt Hotshot. And I think Hotshot has been done this a couple of times where like he teased RKOs right off the bat.
Yeah.
Or like he you know, like they tease trading finishes right off the bat. It's so good to see Carl back because Carl, when I love watching him wrestle because I think he understands his character. Even when he was a good guy, right? He was like the cheering and all that. He's very intense in the ring. He gives me quarterback football captain vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's just ordering people around. He's just interacting with the crowd. He wasn't afraid. You know, when I was like, I think I just shouted at him like, "Hey, Malaya," blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, "Hey." He's interacting with his friends.
Yeah.
Do you see that one corner? There's a section that says Melayu Heat.
Is that his thing? Is that going to be a thing? Oh, yeah, he did ask me, do you think this should be a thing? I said yes.
Because is it a play on Eddie Guerrero Latino Heat?
Yeah, Latino Heat then. But then, I don't want it to become like he becomes a face. You know what I mean? Like, people cheer, he has a cute catchphrase, so people go with it. Then, it kind of defeats the purpose of him being a heel.
It was such a great heel. He was such a great heel turn, right?
I will say this, like, okay, so this also applies generally to everybody, right? But like watching Cal and his facial expressions, we talk about this all the time, selling moves. It's not just about acting pain. It's the anticipation of I'm going to get ran into the post, so I should look like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? I think that Wilson, as a champion, he's already proven that he can go in the ring. I would like to see him work on the facials a little bit more. I get it. He's like, like typical Singaporean Chinese boy lah. A bit like, like muted expression lah. Like shit's gonna go down, you still like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody is just like, expressive, right? I get it. But also at the same time, this is a performance art. So like, I bring that example up because I literally was filming it when it happened. And as I was watching it, I go like, it looks like Wilson is anticipating, I'm going to go into the ring post. This is the spot. No expression.
The face.
Yeah,
we caught it in HD, bro. He's like,
because he was literally coming right at us. I was like, you know what I mean? So I feel like maybe he can work on a little bit of like anticipating the selling moves, as it were, quote unquote, other than actually selling the aftermath of the move. Like, shit, like what? I'm going to get rammed in the post. Like,
The other issue with him, to me lah, as a champion, is that he had a great promo to start off the match.
Yep.
Like I think he has been. Oh, there you go.
Good promo.
Good promo. I think he does a great job as an ace. Like gets everyone together, and I think his appeal as like the very kwai Chinese boy next door does appeal to like a mass appeal for Singaporean, right?
Sure.
But I just. He needs to look more physically imposing.
Sure.
And I know that comes with like working out and blah blah blah. That one you have to all constantly work on that. But also just even if he's like a champion, right? I want his confidence to show in the ring. And a lot of people have made this comparison, like gives me Bret Hart vibes, right? Like, he's a great worker, he's like serious, takes things seriously. But like I want a bit of that, not even cockiness, because he was a heel and he did a great job as that cocky heel. I want that confidence. Like I'm a top star. I'm a guy. Like you gotta match up to me. Like how Cody Rhodes has a bit of that. I'm still the man.
Yeah, it's sort of it's very weird to put your finger on it and describe it, right? It's the difference between dashing Cody Rhodes and the current Cody Rhodes. It's like a presentation. It's how you carry yourself. Like a certain, I know I'm good, and I don't doubt that he knows that he's good, but something in the presentation I think maybe needs to be brought out there a little bit more. I totally get your point, right? I feel like the way they booked this match and whoever who put this match together, kudos, was to do that. Because I don't know if you like realize their finish, right? Like, Cal did a thing where he jumped off the top rope, but then Wilson Hotshot goes for the kill shot. But then Cal's like, no, he lands on his feet. He's like, no, I knew you were going to do that, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Which his cockiness then leads to Hotshot actually picking up the win via the kill shot. But he didn't just kill shot him once. He didn't go for the pin. He picked him up. I forgot what he yelled, but to me, it was like a definitive, I'm the ace. I'm taking your crown right now. This is my moment. Bam! Sort of. Didn't that give you that feel?
Yeah, I agree. I think him saying I'm the ace, like just to establish. I think this
Did he
match
say
was
I'm
about,
the ace? Somebody please correct us if I'm
yeah. I think this match was Grapplemax's way of establishing the fact. Okay, now he has taken the torch. He has finally beaten a former ace in Carl. Hotshot is the guy everyone should put the machine behind him, right?
I love that moment in terms of the booking to put like it's like a stem, like we kind of knew he was the guy already. He's the champion for so long, but now bang, official already. Like Singaporeans, we love everything government approved, official. So he picks up the win there via the kill shot.
Yeah. Also another thing is like, I think Hotshot beating Carl is the right decision at this point in time. Even though yes, Carl is very new in his return, but I'm so excited to see Carl in 2025, man. Like,
you're excited for Malayu Heat, is it?
Yes, correct. Malayu Heat, and I think he can be the biggest heel. Bro, this is just his first match back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the run of matches he's gonna have?
Prabhu says he hit Cal with his own finisher before the kill shot. I see. There you go. I don't even remember what Cal's finisher was, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So a great way to sort of cap off the night. That was your main event. In general, I really enjoyed myself. It was a good 2 hours. It didn't feel like it dragged. Like, here's the thing with sometimes when you go to local wrestling shows, right? Because especially, like, for example, SPW, sort of, they kind of have the run of the area of the venue. So they go pretty long. Like the SPW show, Crowning Glory, was it 4 hours? Three and a half?
It was three and a half. I think it started at 8.
Yeah.
7:30, probably ended like 10:30, going on 11 already.
Whereas this one was like, okay, no, they had a hard stop, hard marker, like we do sometimes. At so the 9, was it?
No, it was fast. It was like 7 to 9.
Yeah, 7 to 9, exactly. That's what I said. So yeah, 7 to 9, bam. And I appreciated it. I think it kept things tight, enjoyable without being too much. Now, I don't know if you can do that if, you have a different type of crowd, like, a paying crowd, quote unquote, but it is what it is, lah.
Yeah. Though, I think keep it at 2 hours. Keep it fast. Leave people wanting more. And that was the feeling I got from watching this main event and also overall Grapplemax. Like, I felt that this was great. I want more. Where can I see Grapplemax next?
Marymount CC, bring it around the Heartland tour. Let's go.
Oh, dear God. Yeah. That's great.
Rumble in the Heartland. So there you go. That's our thoughts on Grapplemax. Thanks for having us, by the way, Pro Wrestling Festival. I did a short highlight video. You want to check out my social media, Mr. Young GG on TikTok.
Is it out? Is it out?
Shit. Yeah, of course. And of course, my Instagram, y'all know.
Oh, you put on Instagram already? Okay. I'll reset. Why you never do collaborate a post, Mr. Young?
Oh, yeah, I should have. Okay, never mind. I can still do it on Instagram.
Invite.
But that aside, I'm looking forward to 2025 and obviously coming up very soon. Should we talk about this now? Because I know we still have AEW, but we are going to try to run through that. Let's do the AEW stuff first. I want to end on a positive note.
Okay. Let's get it out of the way.
Here's the crazy effed up thing, right? Until Foreign mentioned it, I didn't even realize that AEW Full Gear. I have completely disassociated myself with AEW. It's not even funny. Like, except for the Hurt Syndicate stuff, I have there's no buzz. There's just no wow. Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson was more interesting to me. Even though it was a disappointment.
And you didn't even have to follow it, and you're really okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know the story, right? So. Oh my God. I know this is on the pre-show, but I saw this on Instagram yesterday. I'm like, who is asking for this? This is peak WCW. But on the pre-show, Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall. Did you see QT Marshall's diss track?
No, I don't follow, bro.
Bro, apparently
what's going on?
He is a rapper now. And he put on AEW's account, they
promoted.
Yes, QT Marshall put a rap video.
Oh my God.
Yo, and it's like, I don't know if this is weird.
Are you serious? Are you for real?
I think part of it is tongue-in-cheek. Like, he's doing like a white guy rapping, sort of like a bit awkward, like a bit lame type thing. But I was like, who asked for this? What is this? It's on the pre-show, so anyway, I'm just letting you know that this is actually happening. Go and check out QT Marshall's rap when you're free, okay?
Okay, I don't know whether that's something I want to check out, but okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
Let's
Mr.
look at the
Yao.
match itself. 8 matches, the main card. Jeez. MJF versus Roderick Strong. MJF, he's in his, this is the match I'm given. Okay, give me the first match. I go home after this, right?
Yeah.
So what is this whole thing with MJF and Roderick Strong and Adam Cole? Like, whoever had the better record gets to go up against MJF. Wasn't that the story they were trying to tell?
Yes, correct. They were trying to say that like it was a race to beat or get a chance to fight MJF. Yeah.
Like, why? Like, it's not like MJF is a champ and Roderick Strong was just a heel. Is he a face now? Now he's friends with Adam Cole. Like, the whole thing is so bad in terms of like convoluted nonsense.
Oh my god, I got nothing, bro. I got nothing.
I literally have zero hype for this match. Like, okay, it's a match, it's happening.
Okay. The downfall of MJF needs to be studied though. Like,
okay, I wouldn't
damn,
say
bro.
downfall yet, lah. The bro's making bank. Let's be real. You know, he's making bank to wrestle in the indies until the WWE calls him up. Let's be honest,
so you call this
right?
the indies, lah.
Yeah,
But then
and-
why did he tattoo himself? So that's my question.
You know what's gonna happen? I swear, one day he's gonna reveal the tattoo fake one. Then he become massive, like, I don't know, face or heel, whatever it is, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a match that's happening. Jay White versus Hangman. Okay, they've been building this, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least it's something, even though we all agree that the other fella is more charismatic than Jay. His tag team partner, oh my god, I forgot his name.
Juice Robinson.
Yeah,
bro.
Robin Juice. Yeah, what happened to Juice?
Yeah.
But he's gonna have a match with Hangman. I don't know if Hangman's gonna burn anybody's house down, but it is what it is.
It's a down feud from the Swerve one. At least Swerve one somewhat interesting. Paying attention to it.
Most of the matches on this card are a down feud. Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay.
Oh, dear
Private
God.
Party versus the Outrunners versus the Kings of the Black Throne versus the Acclaimed.
Okay.
You know, I actually don't think that this will be a bad match. I think this will be a fun sort of. But once again, it's a 4-way. It'll be a cluster F of a match. A lot of shit will happen. People will do cool stuff. I know people are talking about how, so and so, like Kings of the Black Throne have been having great matches on Collision. So, for who to see?
Yeah, nobody to see actually. No, and the Outrunners is such a shame because like I heard great things about them. I've seen a bit of their matches and I actually enjoyed it. But like, what can we do to make them relevant? Because they're not relevant if they're on Collision, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what's really funny? Just a bit of a sidetrack, right? But I read this article. Oh yeah, Britt Baker brings back great ratings for AEW, the past episode of Dynamite. And then I saw the number, it was 666, which is hilarious. But
okay.
I'm like, 666 is considered great numbers for you already. Jialat, the standards are dropping.
Bro, what happened to 800,000 being the like the norm? The norm, right?
I don't know, man. Some of these people, they really, blinders on lah, but whatever lah. Huh? Mercedes Monet with Camille versus Chris Statlander. This one, we talked about this before. Chris was a heel and then just out of nowhere, for no reason, she became a face. And she was having a good heel run against the Willow. But I guess, you need Mercedes, you need somebody from Mercedes to beat, so there you go.
Bro, where is Willow in all of this?
Why is Camille not more relevant? Also, right?
Yeah.
So many problems here. Okay, the one match that I actually want to watch, Swerve versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, this is the only thing that's interesting,
Bro,
right?
I think when I tell you what the next match is, you might be very interested. But let's talk about Swerve, Bobby Lashley. They're just starting, so they try to recruit Swerve. So it's like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Where do you think this leads? Because Bobby needs to come in and straight up just destroy Swerve, I feel.
I think Bobby needs to get the victory to establish.
Is this Bobby's first full match?
Yeah, first match. So like you kind of can't waste them, bro.
But versus Swerve, like, I feel bad if he just... You see, here's the problem, right? If this is Bobby's first match, you don't want this to be a competitive 30-minute banger. Right?
Agreed.
Yeah, Bobby should have been on Dynamite, and maybe we missed the match or what, but he should be on Dynamite with some whatever undercut guy, and he just mauls him in 12 seconds.
Yes, you should, by right, but
this is AEW land where whatever, they just want to shook Sindiri.
Like, are you gonna bury Bobby by doing that though? That's the question, right?
But having a competitive match, yes, I feel so. But they're going to be like,
dear
oh
God.
no, because Swerve is the guy, he's the ex-champ, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not the point. You know, you bring in a monster like Bobby, he's the leader, look at him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see where they can go with this match.
They can't go anywhere. Okay, they're gonna bury Swerve, who is their AEW guy, to push Bobby. That's what's gonna happen. And everyone's gonna get annoyed. Everyone's gonna be like, why you do this, why you do that? But like, expected what, right? You put it on yourself, what?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, next match, the one you definitely are hyped for, bro. Because these two characters, you know, AEW has been really hitching their wagons on them. They are the stars of the future. Jack Perry, the TNT champion, the championship is on the line, versus Daniel Garcia, bro.
Why? Why, bro?
This doesn't even feel like Triple H Rock before they were when they were feuding for Intercontinental Gold. Like when that happened, you saw these two got chance to be future stars, right?
Yeah, agree.
You put Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia, it feels like, I'm sorry to say this, feels like D'Lo versus Hardcore Holly.
It's 205 live, bro. It's 205 live.
Yeah, oh no, there's no. And then you move on to the next one, Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Okay, there's a story there. Former friends, Kyle cut his hair, backstab Will, blah, 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 all that great stuff, right? It's probably going to be a schmoz at the end with Takeshita and the Don Fallis family and whatever lah. But do you honestly see Kyle beating Will? Will is supposed to be their golden goose.
I can't. I really can't. I really can't see them. And also, it's very shame because I don't know, both of them have a lot of potential, but they are not in an environment to succeed. I think that's how I would say it. Yeah.
I agree. It is what we've talked about in the past. Everyone is just in their own world doing their own thing. There's no cohesion, no future vision, right? You can tell everything just feels very disconnected.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Except for the big takeover storyline by the Death Riders, even though a few months ago we had the takeover storyline with the EVPs, whatever, you know, 2 takeover storylines back to back. Yeah, what the hell, right? What are you guys doing? And the first one didn't even have a resolution. Speaking of resolution, where is Takeshita on this match? Didn't he win a title? Isn't he supposed to be relevant right now? Where is he?
That's the thing, right? He technically is the champion. But again, they haven't done anything. I think the biggest issue with AEW is follow-up. Very bad follow-up.
He became champion, but Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher more important. Okay, sure, whatever. And that leads us to the AEW World Championship match. The main event. The match everybody has been asking for. Jon Moxley, the champion, versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, is this the main event?
Yeah, that's the main event. Bro, look. Main events sell cards, sell fights, right? Like Tyson, Jake Paul, even though it was a shit show, it sold the damn thing. It made people interested.
Yep.
Ain't nobody paying money. I am not going to pay money to see Moxley versus Cassidy. This is the main event of a Dynamite. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. A lot of people forget as well. They actually were contending for the International Championship last year. That was the one where I think, was it Jon Moxley or his head kena drop or someone dropped his head for Penta, right?
Ray Phoenix, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ray Phoenix, right? Yeah. So all this was happening around this whole situation. This feels like a mid-cut title, but with the Moxley character now the way it is that going to be the main, that's going to be the main story they're trying to push towards, right? As the A storyline. Is Orange Cassidy just a spoke in the wheel, or is he going to be a huge player? Is he going to be I'm a leading man fighting the big bad heel, right?
Either way, even during WCW invasion of WWE, for example, you don't have Steve Austin versus Hurricane. Well, you did actually, but on Raw, not a main event of a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Orange Cassidy is out here and I think they've deluded themselves into thinking that Orange Cassidy is the main event. He is the AEW standard bearer, which says a lot, right?
Nah, it is terrible.
Okay, so I will not be watching Full Gear. I'll probably just try to catch maybe the Swerve Bobby match. And out of pure morbid curiosity, I might watch Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. But yeah, Literally zero guys in chat. Let us know what your hype level is for this card, because to me it's non-existent.
Yeah, I'm here for my guy, which is like, Lashley. Lashley is gonna be. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna book Hurt Syndicate, but man, Osprey, Takeshita, all these people, MJF, like they should be the stars. They are not stars.
Nope,
they're not stars at this point in time. I'm so sorry, man.
Nobody since the start of AEW, right? Other than maybe MJF, they've made no stars, which is like in 5 years. Meanwhile, on WWE, every day, every episode they're making, okay, not every episode, but they are making new stars all the time.
Yeah,
not to say that they are fumbling the bag, or they're not fumbling the bag in some cases. I feel like they are. But for the most part, I think WWE's track record right now with Triple H in charge is like at least 70% hits. Meanwhile, AEW is like 5% hits. And the rest is all like, what? It's tough, man. It's tough to try to make sense of it all. But okay, once again, let's give a big shout out to the sponsor of the podcast, Hasif_captures. Guys, drop him a follow. He's an independent financial advisor. If you'd like for him to take a look at your financial portfolio, you want to just have a day with him, talk about fitness, talk about entrepreneurship, he's your guy. Drop him a follow, and he got a Google Forms there. You can fill in the Google form. Got such thing as free lunch.
And also another thing as well, make sure you follow him on his socials as well. Check out the content that he does, because he does a lot of content beyond just like
financial stuff,
food as well.
Yeah, dude is all rounder as they say. So there you go. Once again, big shout out to him, and that leads us to the final thing we want to talk about. All right, December the 1st. Clear your schedules. If you're going overseas, fly back. Like laughing. Just for the match. Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay. Do you have the poster lined up, my friend?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, you can pull it out from our WhatsApp while we're talking. So, guys, a big announcement from Kick to the Gut. Okay, 1st December, Sunday. At the end of every year, to wrap up our season, we always have the yearly Kick to the Gut Awards, right? Kick to the Gut Awards, we've been hosting it since, I think, 2021. That was the first time. This year, we're going to make it a bit special, right? We have our usual awards, like Best WWE Rivalry, Best AEW Wrestler, blah, blah, blah. All the North American stuff, that stays the same. For our local categories, we still have the usuals, like Best Local Wrestling Show, Best Local Feud, blah, blah, blah. We even still will have our Young Boy Rising Star Award. So all this, we will roll out all the categories for you guys to vote as per normal. But for our event this year, we want to do something really special to crown the Singapore's top wrestler for 2024, right?
Yes.
And we have talked about it the entire year. We are trying to do our very own PWI, right? There you go. This time round, we want to ensure that all the local wrestlers across all promotions are being represented. We have been attending all the shows. We've been giving them star ratings. We finally have the list. As of today, the list has been finalized. We do have our Singapore Wrestler Top 20 list confirmed.
That's right.
And we will reveal all of it. Everyone, we're going to do a countdown on the event day, 20 to number 1, counting down the top Singapore Wrestler of 2024. So yes, guys, please save your dates. Come and join us. We're selling tickets at $20, cover all our makan, all our food. But we will also present to you the winner of the Singapore Wrestler Top 20, as well as a look back of all of wrestling in 2024.
That's right. We'll post more on our social media accounts, obviously, but it's happening at the Grapplemax Pro Wrestling Studio, a place we are all very familiar with. Sunday, December the 1st, 12 to 2 p.m., right after Survivor Series, in fact. So it's going to be a very wrestling-packed show. I mean, we're going to talk a bit about what goes down at Survivor Series, but also, like Foreign mentioned, yes, we will be doing the Kick to the Gut Awards presentation, the Singapore Wrestler Top 20 list. Oh, man. I mean, you poured so much heart and soul and sweat and tears. I don't know what else you poured inside, what other bodily fluids, but yes.
lots of late nights.
To put this together, but we can't wait to, show love to the awesome performers that have entertained us for the past year.
Yeah. Guys, once again, 1st of December, 2024, Sunday, 12 p.m. Grapplemax, the venue is Grapplemax. Once again, the people from Grapplemax are also holding a watch along. If you know, if you want to watch, because it has to happen. Survivor Series is happening on the same morning.
Yes.
So you calmly watch some Survivor Series. There's a watch party at Grapplemax, and after that, stay on for our Kick to the Gut Awards / Singapore Wrestler Top 20 reveal.
Correct. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you there. In the meantime, though, all right, we'll be back next week to talk more about Survivor Series. In fact, a bit of a preview of Survivor Series. Let's see where all the action on Raw and SmackDown leads to. Something to look forward to, yeah?
Yes, for sure. So next week we'll review a bit of Full Gear, and we will preview Survivor Series. I think that's where everyone wants to hear.
Suddenly, I feel like, hey, I got extra work. I have to watch this crap.
But
it is what it is. Okay, on this, what is it? Is it Tuesday? This is a Monday.
Yes, it is.
It's a Tuesday. I forget. I get mixed up. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, Tuesday afternoon. Bro. Thanks for hanging out with us on your lunchtime. We appreciate you. If you're listening to this right now on Spotify or after the fact on YouTube, thank you as well. As always, we have a Patreon. If you'd like to take your support for the podcast one step further, check out our Patreon page. We have a Discord. That's absolutely free. Come join us and chat wrestling 24/7, 365. But that said, it's time for us to get out of here, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
So, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Ford in the building. Take care.